Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for some more Elite Lads Plus Season 2 playoff action. In the commentary booth with me tonight is a man of great reputation, middle lane player extraordinaire, and of course, a man very familiar to both Lads Plus the tournament and these two teams in question. It's Rohofireflu. How are you this fine evening?
I'm doing great, Badger. Charlie Brown is quite upset. I think there's a dog outside.
What can you do? But speaking of the aforementioned teams you're familiar with, it is the semi-aquatic soldiers on the Radiant side, captained by Sauce, headlined of course by Andy Bendy, Jim, and Mr. Lenz. Notable among that list, of course, is Jim, aka Rook, aka Strawberry Shark, aka Salacious Sea Lion, aka Salvating Salamander, former teammate of yours in the DPC Dota world. And then it's Royal Star, who also you have some players you're very familiar with over there as well. Again, that Madior captained units, Rudy drafting, featuring Patience Journey and Reed as well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me that they have Rudy drafting, just because he's like, I mean, he is the highest MMR with like the most experience on their team, but he also plays like the least Dota out of them for sure. Probably watches the least Dota too, I'd imagine. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, maybe Rudy likes that. Maybe they like it for them. I'm not sure.
I know before we went on the air, you were mentioning the instant bans from semi-aquatic soldiers, instant Enigma, instant Timbersaw ban.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if they don't Rubik and oh, they win rate. Okay. Actually, I mean, yeah. I feel like this Wind Ranger hero is really broken in lads, and I think it's strong in general. So
There's a couple of those heroes that are, I mean, they're really good at the top level of Dota, but they're even better below that. Venge comes to mind. Winrar is another one where these heroes that are, I mean, they're already good at Pro Dota, but at this level in particular, they're even better.
yeah. One of the really nice things about Wind Ranger is you can just send it literally all 5 roles and it performs. I think all their players are equipped to play with it as well. Royal dropped the respect Arcord and Meepo bans. Even though Andy's been playing the Wind Ranger, I think the most out of any of their drafts.
And he probably should be the player of the Windrunner, but of course it is a flexible hero. It can go either of the three core spots or either the two support spots. It just works.
I played a position 4 Wind Ranger game today, and Yatoro said well played for
Wait,
me.
Yatoro
So
told you well played?
yeah, he did.
That's a huge
It was
seal of approval if that guy tells you well played.
and then we lost, and he said we have no stuns.
Fucking
and
yo.
we and we didn't. Our tricore was Timbersaw, OD, Juggernaut. So I hope that neither team ends up with something like that. And they're not. There's like a million stuns in this game already. I think Mars is really, really strong. I like that they picked it up as well.
And this means again, I suspect they'll end up being the Diesel Mars, which is good because it means it won't be the Diesel Windranger. I'm not sure if you were there for the last Diesel Windranger game, but
I vaguely saw.
number of key missed shackles were a point of contention among me and my co-caster. I forget who my co-caster was, but we definitely mentioned the lack of shackles being it.
Was it Skater? Or was that a difference? No,
I am
Skater was like
Buffles, or actually, I don't
it might
remember.
have been Buffles,
I
yeah.
cast a lot of people to be fair. It's kind of you mix them up there for
You
a
get
little bit.
around Badger. You get around.
I do get around, you
Um
know.
yeah, I think this Mars hero is really broken. I mean, the thing about Mars, I mean he's just kinda good at every point in the game. I mean his laning is mediocre typically just because it's so hard to like land a spear and you need so many levels, but I mean once you hit 6, like you're always a threat. You have this long stun, you have good repositioning tools. And eventually later in this game, like this Revenant Spirits build that people do is like actually just insanely OP, to be honest.
Uh,
It's obviously really hard to get there, but
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't like Mars one of those heroes that kind of like a mediocre lane into literally every hero in Dota? Which is like it's weird because like there's some offlaners that do really well into some heroes and really badly into others. But Mars seems like he does like like a 5 out of 10 lane into every hero in Dota. It seems.
yeah, he's kind of like the great equalizer because his spells are just really good for securing CS, and he has like good HP and good HP regen, but he doesn't deal like a lot of damage. So I mean, like it's kind of hard to make things happen in a Mars lane just because he's not easy to kill, and he's also not easy to get kills with. You know, if both players are playing well, usually Mars will be down like a little bit. That's just kind of how it goes.
And then of course
This
you can like
spicy.
juxtapose that in some other offlaners like Timbersaw, who lanes very well into most of the heroes, but the few heroes he doesn't lane well into, it's like, oh, I'm not having a good time.
Yeah, it's very apparent. With Mars, it's not really like that. He can just kind of. I mean, he's also a hero that doesn't particularly need to get a lead or get a ton of net worth to be useful, which is kind of good for him because his kit will be useful no matter what. But if he does end up getting a lot of net worth, he can utilize it. But it's not like it's not a Timbersaw where if he's behind in net worth, his game can get really, really hard.
That's always the advantage of having a stun is no matter what happens, you'll always have some impact.
Yeah. Speaking of Faceless Void, I I also played against I played against Arms in a pub as well. That I think is the first that I queued of today, and we completely smurfed on him. His Enchantress was level 4 at like 18 minutes or something. It was crazy, and then they won. Um, and in all chat, I typed, "Well played, man. Good press R." And I meant it. Fucking, I hate Faceless Void. You just
So
press R.
it's one of those things where you think it's easy until you see a really bad faceless void, and it's like, oh, it can be a lot worse. There was a game I was in recently where the void he chronoed his own mid laner and one of his other teammates, but he got none of the enemies, and it was like a fight losing chronosphere. So sometimes you could really mess things up on void.
Yeah. I actually kind of I like playing Faceless Void and I like having it on my team, but it's a very frustrating hero to play into because I've like itemizing against the hero is just really difficult and kind of the ultimate win condition for Faceless Void is eventually just chronoing literally just hitting this massive AoE spell onto one hero, which is sometimes easy and sometimes like kind of impossible. This game they're not making it very easy with him with I mean obviously they have a lot of ways to avoid his damage, but they also have like a lot of silences and stuns and whatnot.
I'm sure it's been discussed to death, but I want to point out the Radiant banner. That's a great banner.
Oh, that's an amazing banner. I kind of thought the knife was a cigarette, but I'm happy with the knife as well.
Like you look at that's just some enthusiasm from the semi-aquatic soldiers right there. Speaking of semi-aquatic soldiers, they've grabbed what I believe is their support duo in Muerta and Wyvern. I know Jim is a big Muerta sup player. You think he might be doing
Mhm.
that today, or you think it's gonna be a core Muerta?
I think it probably is Jim's. I don't feel like anybody else is as enthusiastic to play it. Um, it's good for Jim because he can utilize it to carry if if anything goes wrong in the game. So I think he likes having the kind of assurance that if it goes late in the game, like he might just be able to pop off and one shot void in a key team fight.
I know that's one thing that Jim likes to hold philosophically on these sort of like disparate MMR teams. It's when he's a higher MMR support player, he wants to have these heroes that can sort of be like, Hoodwink, Muerta, maybe like a Snapfire or a Wyvern. Heroes that have a lot of impacts.
Oh,
Uh,
speaking of Snapfire,
speaking of Snapfire, yeah, it's a selection for Royal Star.
I don't really. I mean, the thing is that Roaster has so many like team fight buttons that it's kind of hard to like not have one of them go right. But considering the ultis they are, like it's actually pretty easy for them to have one missed like ult and it just completely fuck their fight. These heroes are pretty decent at killing egg. Obviously Chrono is it's actually very hard to use this game. Despite me thinking almost it's like bordering on a low skill spell nowadays, but um this game it isn't. You have to Matty has to be really careful with his chrono placement, and he can completely 1v9 or 9v1 team fights if he wants.
It's one of those things like a lot of time with the Void, like you don't necessarily want to be the first hero in, but you have heroes who can distract you this game. Like you have the Mag RP, you have Supernova. Both of those are great setups for the Chronosphere, where it's like, oh, they've been RP'd, I can Chrono. Oh, they're hitting my ally Phoenix, I can Chrono. So it should be a
Yeah.
relatively easy
I mean,
execution game from Madier.
that's what you think, but the thing is their heroes aren't actually that good at standing in front of him. Like they can go in, but they don't really have a hero that is going to be at least until they have items that's going to be super confident to just stand in front.
Does that fix it?
Leshrac is I don't think so, but I do think this is a nice way to round out their draft. Um Leshrac I mean, it synergizes pretty well with like the Snapfire Phoenix. It's kind of a strong trio of heroes. That's a lot of support for the Leshrac. I think Leshrac is pretty strong at the moment as well. I don't think he's broken by any means, but um, yeah, I think it does a lot of nice things for their draft. It gives them early tempo as well if he plays well. They don't have a lot of time to think about their pick either, and Leshrac is pretty good into most lanes. They go with Quap. Um,
Interesting. I like it, but it's interesting.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I do think there is potential for this Quap to do good this game. As a fellow Quap enjoyer, yeah, it's very interesting. I can see this Quap going both ways. It all just depends on how Mr. Lens pilots it, I guess.
So, whose draft do you prefer? The team with 5 AoE heroes, or the team with like 2 AoE heroes?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with 5. 5 is better than 2, unfortunately. I am of course no bias this series, but I do think that this Meteor team just looks really easy to execute, in my opinion. Assuming that they just play a pretty standard game. Whereas Radiant have a lot more like silly things going on. So I I see them going a lot more, far behind or far ahead. I don't, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They have to do some wacky stuff, which they're incredible at. Um, but for consistency's sake, I would have to think that this Meteor team has a pretty easy game plan.
If we're using technical verbiage, maybe call it a high variance draft from the Radiant. But if we're being real here, it's a high skill floor, high skill ceiling draft. It's gonna require some real Dota 2 to work.
Hmm.
I think I agree with you. I agree with you on the evaluation. I think Royal Stars draft is just going to win probably more often than not. It's given the ease of execution. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of this best of 3 between Royal Star on the Dire side and the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers on the Radiant side. My name is Badger. I'm joined by Rohofireflu. And hopefully we'll be in for a fantastic best of 3 series.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I the thing is too also, I think this Wyvern hero just kind of turns a lot of drafts into a high variance draft. Because how you pilot this hero like completely changes every game. Um which is a cool thing about Wyvern. I mean, it's a hero that doesn't need net worth at all, but also is absurd with net worth. It's a hero that literally can stun your own team for 4 seconds, so whenever you have that at hand, um, you know, I think it allows for a lot of plays and misplays.
There's actually a lot of room between chronoing your team, misusing Snapfire Ags, and misusing Phoenix Ags. There's a lot of room for things to go wrong here.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of. It looks like Reed didn't buy items yet.
He's got all he needs. He's got the tangos. Oh, for those who are wondering, so there are a lot of players in the game, and we may be calling them by alternative names. I will run through them now. Froggy2 Demon Dog is better known as Andy Bendy. That's the former League of Legends pro, by the way. Meepo Arc Warden Extraordinaire Andy Bendy. Salving Salamander 37. We're gonna probably call either Jim or Rook because both of those are one syllable instead of salivating salamander 37. That's 12 syllables. That's too many.
I
So
like your triplets.
it's a little too many syllables. 4 triplets, by the way. Too many syllables for a team fight. And then, of course, on the other side again, we have Reed, who's tagged up as Choppa. What are you calling him Reed today? Because Reed's just more fun to say than Choppa. I think. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, this is the legendary Reed Magnus, which I'm happy. Reed is definitely a fun player to watch play, just because he does so many wacky things. He's gonna give the Dire team a lot of like he's gonna be a really key component in how this game plays out. Because I think Reed, I love Reed, but he can be minorly inconsistent. As in, some games I think his ideas are really unique and interesting, and they kind of like win the game. Or sometimes they're unique and interesting, and they kind of lose the game. And you know what? Sometimes you wanna ride on that, but
Sometimes when he's on though. There was a game I was playing into his 4 Broodmother, and it is one of the biggest shellackings I have ever received. I got beaten into the ground. I was dead. I got tilted. My carry died. He was like, Badger, why are you feeding? Like, bro, it's Reed Brewmother. He's running in the trees. And then I died again.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
sometimes he just doesn't do anything. That's Reed Dota for you. By the way, I'm not gonna. I mean, there's admins in the lobby. I don't care. I don't think Mattior cares. I'm sure we're. I'm not real. He said, Jim said I'm not real.
Oh man,
What am I doing
that's
here
tough,
then?
Badger.
If I'm not real,
That's a tough look. You'll be a real boy someday, Badger.
I hope so. I really do. You know, I may be missing a brain, a heart, and courage, but one day I will obtain this.
If you three take Karamja hard enough, you might just.
I love you're just like slowly through like osmosis acquiring these RuneScape terms. We are back into the game though. Radiant smoked up as a 5. Journey leads the way into the Radiant jungle for the Dire side. Jim walks forwards, pops his smoke on Rudy. Mattior plays the high ground. Radiant are in the river, now high ground once again. Looking at both teams' vision, they see very little, but there's a lot of pinging going on right now, so they're clearly interested in something.
The painting is really funny. They have a very interesting position. In theory, Radiant level 1 is. They both have kind of strong level 1s, but I think Radiant level 1 should triumph pretty hard if they hit a lot of their spells on the multiple heroes. Reed does have the skewer with
Well,
boots.
this could be
Rudy's
painful for
walking up.
Rudy. He's all the way in. It's a 3-man rebuke from Diesel. Skewer from Reed. Power shot hits, I believe, only one. Lens is half HP. Rudy's dropping. Reed is dropping. Radiant will certainly win this fight. Questions by how much? There's no first blood quite yet. They're once again splitting their attention, and somehow, despite losing the trade heavily, Dire get away, not feeding a single kill. Rudy nearly dies, but he's not dead. Now in comes Diesel. He's stunned by Rudy. And that's finally first blood secured by the Mars. Reed, uh-oh, I'm not sure if you're gonna be here, Reed. I think you're just dead. And you are dead. It's 2 kills now for the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. A 1k lead already.
Oh no. This is a complete disaster for them, because look at Mattior's HP, and he has time dilation level 1.
Oh,
Like a
poor
patient, like
Dios.
look at this top lane. Diesel does TP back, which thankfully gives them some time to. Mattior should be fine, considering that Diesel TP'd all the way back to base. I kind of don't like that he did that. Mid lane's also a little. I mean, but yeah, they give away a lot there.
See, even before the 2 kills, it was already a win. And then
Yeah,
it's got 2 kills anyway. It's like, oh, cool. It's literally free money.
I'm kind of surprised that they wanted to do that, because they knew that they were all there, and I think they should have known that their team fight is, or their fight is weaker at level 1. Ledrak isn't particularly that strong level 1. I think especially considering that I don't think he learned his Q first, which I think is they did it in a very awkward way. And Reed also has like skewer boots, which is not a great like team fight. So it was very awkward. And walking into, I think, Muerta Wyvern is quite scary.
I do
And Jim
want to.
didn't even go the strongest level 1 ability for like a team fight.
He went dead shot, which again is much better in the lane. So it's like, hey, you know what? Let's get the lane secure ability. I do want to point out though the line that Patience is spamming from Blue. Blue is like my favorite commentator alive. Actually, I love Blue. He used to work pro series with me, and he was so fun to talk to. Like he would just shoot the shit in lobby all day long. I loved Blue. Big fan.
Uh,
If you know
I would
Spanish,
love him.
he's a great commentator. If you don't know Spanish, then I can't really do much for you. But if you know Spanish, it's a great time.
Yeah, Espanol is a bit weak.
It's okay. There's again. It's one of those things where it's always a fun old time. Speaking of fun times, we're back into the game once again. Correction, we're back into the pause once again. Oh, por Dios, indeed.
Dios.
Pause City. Reed restarting. Not one of these are for Lynn. So do we have a pause count? Is it what, 4 pauses now? 5 pauses now?
I like this. This is starting to make me feel like less of a villain.
You know, we were a little bit late to the series, and that was for rarely it was not for once it was not in the players, but it seems like we're still paused constantly anyways because it's
Yeah.
Go to 2.
We're a minute into the game, and it's 40 minutes past the start time.
It is what it is, Rojo. Luckily for you, you are on the West Coast, so you'll be fine staying up at 5:30 your time zone. So we're chilling.
Oh yeah, this is perfect for me.
Hopefully, for my sake, it doesn't run too late. You know what I'm a little afraid of? So there's a series going on at 9:30, in
Uh-huh.
normal lads. If this series ends after that series, I'll be so sad.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
That was part of the
Also,
reason why I swapped. Is like, I was like, oh, it'll be done faster. Cool. I'll be done earlier. And if it gets later, it's like, oh, you're saying, sir?
oh, there's a bounty rune still in the map, which I just think is interesting.
Ah, you're right. That is still here. I feel like that shouldn't be here any longer.
Which means that they got 3 runes and Dyer got no runes, which I mean, usually people think of like runes or bounty runes, they don't think of it very much. As like, I mean, obviously you just want to go 2 and 2, keep like net worth even. Um, but it matters a lot in mid. In mid, it matters a lot, the bounty runes, because it's delaying, like, you're putting an 80 gold difference between every bounty that you're up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is, massive for their bottle. Like, you can look at Mr. Lens, like, he almost already has bottle. And obviously, Rudy died, and he bought another Fairy Fire, and he didn't get any bounty runes. So, he's like 300 gold off of his bottle. He's not going to be able to get it before Water Runes, which could prove to be tough for him. I guess it depends on how like the rest of the lane shapes out, but
All right, over under on number of pauses this series. I'll put the line at 14 and a half. You think there'll be more than that or less than that pauses wise?
ooh, that was a good number, Roger. I'm gonna go under, out of hope. I'll keep my glass full.
I'm gonna try to keep count. I think we're at 5. I think it's either 4 or 5. Either way, we are back on Reed, so no more problems with Reed. He can return to being a boot skewer Magnus, whatever he's gonna do with that. I'm not sure what he's gonna accomplish doing that, but it's Reed. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm a little curious why they picked the Snapfire for Journey. I don't really know what made it appealing to play Snapfire this game. Now
Maybe
that I'm
the
like thinking
ideal is
about it,
just throw stuff in the Corona. I don't know.
yeah, I mean I guess so. But feels like they have a lot of things going into Chrono. But I mean, yeah, it seems totally fine. And you got a really slick range sweep deny right off the pause.
Yeah, I saw it. I know some players are better out of the pause than others. Seems like Andy is an out of pause specialist. Specialist, am I saying? I can't even say words right now after the pause. His pause is definitely messing my brain a lot. It gets me out of the rhythm and the flow.
Yeah, it'll do it. Mr. Lens is going for a no Q build so far, which I'm not the biggest fan of because I feel like Q can really fuck with Leshrac. Also, he's getting his bottle kind of late. But since he had to use so much mana and HP in these early skirmishes, he's actually getting harassed out by Rudy here.
Yeah, a lot of damage
And
coming in from Rudy Steelstar.
Rudy walked in the tower. That's kind of a big deal.
And Lens is not 3. If he was 3, it's probably a kill.
Patience is very
You're right. He
fire.
is incredibly dead. That's 3 kills now for the semi-aquatic soldiers. I can't stop looking at mid though. This is a
I
fascinating
know.
lane.
It's pretty intense. Quap versus Leshrac and Quap are both really interesting heroes. I think in terms of their matchups, they play Dota or they play mid lane very uniquely.
Yeah, you don't necessarily think of like Leshrac as this like huge skilled mid laner, but a matchup like this, it's a very skill dependent matchup for Leshrac.
Yeah, I think Leshrac does take extra. The thing is, Rudy not having bottle is really being. I mean, it's really sad for him in this case. This is Stun as well.
He still has Blink available on
He's fighting
Lens.
though.
He'll Blink
Yeah.
away, but now Rudy can zone him. There's enough mana for Lightning. Problem is he's not in range to cast it, but Lens
He just
is
walked
not
in.
happy. And he's gonna lose his... Okay, his curve is not gonna die, but he's still not happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, he needs to just walk back to base. It's not a terrible position for him, considering that he can walk back, but it is going to set him behind. Rudy's been doing a really good job of just trading on him. This is the thing about going the no dagger build against Leshrac, is that you don't really actually win trades against him by just pressing E, because his lightning storm is stronger.
Speaking of laning, bottom lane, big trades are happening there. A lot of low heroes right now. Who will die is the question. The answer will be Reed on that support Magnus. Power shotted down by our boy Andy Bendy.
Yeah, this power shot spell is definitely broken. Like, I refuse to believe that this spell isn't like insanely overtuned. Obviously, of course, you do need to land it, but close range for somebody like Andy, it's not too much of a problem.
You know what? You're better at Dota than I am. What would you recommend that that the developers do with power shot? Is it like less damage, less slow, more cast time? What does it need?
I think the slow is just too high in early levels.
Courtesy power shot right now. It's been used to hit Journey, and as a result, Jim walks away. It'll end up being 2 kills bottom lane. The power shot working out very well there. Meanwhile, top lane, it's Patience under attack. Somehow the Splinter Blast did not hit him, however, though, so he'll be fine.
Yeah. Ooh,
He died on purpose. Okay, the tower.
Yeah. Let's see. I kind of wish that Sauce would go 2 points in Arctic Burn in this lane versus Face the Sword Phoenix. Just because it's, you know, obviously going the burst damage of Splinter Blast isn't as effective against this Faceless Void, but not a huge deal. Mid lane, there is some fighting again. He has raindrops on Rudy, which is giving him a big advantage. Mr. Lens is definitely greedy to not buy.
Lens popped his wand. He might go in here. Problem is, Reed's backing up. Blink in by Lens. Question now, I mean, Lens is definitely dead. Question is, does Rudy die first? And he will. It's mid laner for mid laner. Meanwhile, top lane, Diesel gets brought down. They're headed to Sauce.
Sauce as well.
Yeah, it's across the map, a 3-for-1, 2-for-0 top, 1-for-1 mid. Big win for Royal Star. They really need these kills.
Yeah, this top is really bad because you're missing like a full wave under tower. I mean, not a full wave, but half a wave, and then half this wave is getting denied by Madior. Plus, they get a pull off. So, well played by Patience and Madior.
Yeah, by my count, 3 creeps missed, which is, again, a lot of creeps. Mid lane, he used his TP on Quap, but he does still have Blink. He'll blink away. Reed can go for an offensive skewer if he wants.
Reed should have.
Reed's thinking about it. He's definitely thinking about it. It's Reed.
Oh, he should have just 100% sent it, I think.
He still might.
Jim is covering, which is nice. They're about to hit 6 on both people. Mr. Lens is slightly closer. If he gets a nice fear here...
Ooh, good fear from Jim. As you mentioned, Reed's forced to skewer away. And the rune spawns bottom. He got the kill on Lens, but he lost the shield rune.
Shield rune is definitely unfortunate. I mean, God, I hate runes in mid. But Mr. Lens gets to collect 3 bounties, so it doesn't feel too bad for him. It's crazy there's still 3 bounties there.
Alright, Lens got 232 gold. Would you trade 232 gold for a shield rune?
Yeah, I probably would. This early in the game.
Well, there we go. Rudy won that one. Top lane, speaking of Lens, Sonic Wave hits on both, and they get sent to the grave easily. Good double kill from Mr. Lens.
Really big for him. His game was looking a little bit... I mean, it wasn't like tough. He has good help from Jim, but I do feel like his net worth
Bottom lane, they're going in for Andy. He's got 9 wand shards and a raindrop. Never mind, he's fine. You were saying?
Yeah, he looks fine. But they are still trying on to him.
They're trying for it. It's not going to work. It's simply not working. They don't do enough damage. Over to the Wisdom Rune. Meanwhile, Rudy is there with the fear. He still gets it. He still gets the Wisdom Rune. So it's both Wisdom Runes going the way of Royal Star. Rudy's certainly dead. He'll try to break up before he dies. He'll not get it, though.
Rudy's rest is showing a little bit so far. I think there's been a few moments that he could have definitely played a little more efficiently. For example, there he has all 3 bottle charges up, which as a mid laner, like, there's no reason to die with bottle charges, right? Like, like if you can try to use them to even get a little more health and engagement, then there's no reason not to.
Because you got him from the guy from the Wisdom Rune itself, and obviously with that many heroes hitting you, it's hard to get much regen off. But even like 12 HP means you maybe kill the Wyvern, you know?
Yeah, I think he actually would have if he was using his bottle charges really actively there. Which I think that Rudy, as the series goes on, is going to warm up a bit. You know, that's kind of how it goes when you don't play a lot of Dota. Sometimes it just takes you a minute or two. I'm sure Mr. Lens plays a lot more. But they are walking onto Rudy.
Yeah, he's
He
incredibly
is
dead
level
here.
1.
I mean, he got the rune,
Really
but
good rotation by
that
Andy.
did not. He used the rune. So he didn't even get to use the rune. It's just lost.
Oh wow, yeah. Really well played by Andy. Knowing to go mid there as a carry, especially, yeah, that was just really good move by Andy. I think that a lot of teams could take notes on things like that, in especially these kind of lad series. That sometimes it's good to bring like just any hero to these like early on engagements. Um, and as well, I do kind of think that Patience probably could have made his own way towards the runes potentially, but yeah, good recognition. Rudy is having a pretty tough game now off of that. And
Madior
it's not.
dead. Oh, Madior is incredibly. Never mind. He's incredibly
Yeah,
alive. He time locked everything off.
yeah.
Okay
He
then.
still has chrono actually. He doesn't pop it, so Journey TPs for nothing. They're
Meanwhile,
TPing
mid lane,
mid.
they're diving Sauce. Rudy and Reed will secure the kill. Jim wants Vengeance. He'll pop
Jim
that
has a lot of
ulti.
damage.
Heading for Lesh, but I don't think he has the damage. He
He
does
does
not.
have a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the movement speed to keep up with Rudy.
Well, Lens is there as well. Problem is Reed just. Oh, from
Oh
long
no!
range! From long
I wish we could
range!
hit him. He's so good.
And they're going for Rudy
Oh,
as well. Rudy's going to go
he's dead.
down. This great team play by the semi-aquatic soldiers. Lens is under attack. He's chronosphered by Madior. That will be a secured kill, but that is simply vengeance. Still good kills there for Radiance.
They had 2 wards mid too, and Andy's still doing this. I mean, really well played by Andy. I think he's utilizing like the early strength of this Wind Ranger really well. He's 5k net worth before 10.
Yeah, a lot of these Wind players, they wait for like the Javelin to go for these rotations, but Andy knows, I am Windrunner. I am strong.
Yeah, I mean, he built a lot of stat items. He's aiming for 100, and he just walks mid and ultis Rudy. Rudy's gonna try to clear the stack. I think this is good by him. Thankfully, the creeps are. It spawned a lot of like golem creeps, which actually don't do a lot of damage to Leshrac, so he's a little bit fortunate in that way. But he is still taking a lot of damage.
Yager the hard camp as well. He's taking a lot right now. This is dangerous territory. And Radiant are smoking. If they kill, they're going to kill him here. They're definitely going to kill him here. Blink in,
And
scream,
they're gonna
power
attack.
shot, and the big creeps in the stack. All 3 big creeps are
Yeah.
still alive. Oh my. Oh me, oh
Rudy
my.
Rudy did gain a lot of net worth from that, but he is definitely depressed. This is a really, I mean, this is really tough. I mean, he's 1 in 6 at 10 minutes as a mid. It does not feel very good.
It's pause number 6 by my count, so we're
Yeah,
the number
we
increases.
Oh wow. Yeah, I feel for Rudy a lot. He's getting quite the treatment. But I think that the semi-aquatic are just moving really smooth around the map. Andy has been like absolutely just abusing just yeah, he's just abusing Wind Ranger and walking around the map being one of the strongest heroes, which you don't see a lot from players. I think it's a little bit sad that they haven't used this Mortimer Kisses yet, because I think that it is the strongest part of Snapfire's kit, and it's ultimately what you kind of want to play for, but they haven't been able to use it, so.
A lot of pause all chat going on during that, but yeah. You know who Andy Benny reminds me of right now?
Who?
Like vintage 2015, 2016 sort of aggressive. Like he's
Oh yeah,
everywhere,
yeah.
you know?
Was he was on a C deck team, right? Was it?
Yeah, initially, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy
Reminds me
was
a little
good.
bit of like 2014 Zhao Tuji as well, but that's a slightly more obscure reference to 2015 aggressive. 2016 aggressive.
Who was they're not quite the same, but there was this it was a Chinese player, and I think he's popular doing like 2017, 18. He had a really good performance at TI. He was an offlane player who's really well known for like Furion, and I haven't seen him in like, at least I don't think he's been on any super relevant team for a few years.
You're not thinking of 11, correct?
No, not 11, because 11's been on a lot of.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a C deck team. I want to say it was like, oh, I think it was LGD Young. I think.
Oh yeah, I don't know the name. I think I know where you're going with this one. Oh, never mind. We're back. We're back. Echolocation and audio. We are.
Oh, in Flame. In
Oh,
Flame.
yeah, I
That guy was
remember In
crazy.
Flame. Yeah, dude,
That guy was crazy.
there's like a team with like him, Ame, Victoria, and like one other really good player for a while. I
Yeah.
mean, they're like a third tier LGD team. It's like, oh yeah, there's like all these super great players on it. Future.
They are gonna get this mid tower, so collecting that. Oh,
It's
good
denied from Patience though. Meanwhile, bot lane, they're going to bring down Journey, denying him a bit of creeps. That's Dota 2 for you.
Yeah. This Wind Ranger is a complete monster. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what you do about him at this point. I think you literally, as soon as Chrono's up, I would just walk it in, I think, and try to use kisses on him. I think Annie's a little more smarter than to fall for it, but it's a very simple combo. So if they manage to get in place for it, then they can make it work. I'm curious if that's what they think as well. If they're thinking like this Wind Ranger is so massive we need to shut her down, or if they're kind of content of just let's actually just stay away from him entirely so that we don't end up giving away more. Reed is close to Blink because his inventory is currently one enchanted mango from Trusty Shuffle and Boots of Speed. He did not buy this mango. I know for a fact he did not.
He's had that boots since before the horn as well, so he's made no progress in his item build.
He's only bought consumables, and I really can't imagine it was more than maybe a Clarity and a set of Tangos.
I think he definitely had one set of Tangos. The question is, did he buy anything other? Did he actually? Have we confirmed the Clarity purchase or no?
No, it's just speculation.
Okay.
Which, I mean, they're gonna smoke with it.
I mean, surely they won't be ready for the minute 13 support Blink, right? That's a relative rarity.
Yeah, definitely not. The only thing is that they're doing this around the same time as Chrono is coming up. So I wouldn't, like, you can see that Semi-Aquatic is kind of set up in a already, like, defensive way. And he's farming in a spot that's not too uncommon, but it is still fairly defensive. Just in being behind the tower, it's kind of awkward to walk through. I think they're gonna find at least Jim, it looks like, but he's working on the smoke.
You can make the RP for that. It's certainly the Snapfire ulti as well, so that's definitely going to be a secured kill. That's about half of your team fight gone already, and there's still an Andy-Bandy bottom lane.
I consider it worth it, but I think you need to try to utilize this. I don't know. Honestly, you can probably just farm. I think this is okay. I think if you're gonna smoke, you have to get a kill with it. The question is how Semi-Aquatic use this this window that they have.
Yeah, the push is dead, but again, the Radiant strength is still, well, strong at this point.
Yeah, Mr. Lens just finished his Mage Slayer, which is obviously very strong against their team. Diesel finished up a Yules. Andy did finish up the Maelstrom, but he's looking to finish, I think, the entire Gleipnir first, which will be like a really insane spike for him. So they have a lot of timings that they can play around with. I think they're pretty content just taking up most of the map, though. Against a team that has less Drag Faceless Void, it's definitely difficult to find space on the map for the heroes that they do have. And you can see, like, Madior and Rudy are holding hands in this top lane. Maybe I'm gonna go for a play. Andy Bendy.
He's got the chrono. He can go for the play. They see Andy, I believe. They see him right now. Dimewalk, chrono. He did not win run in time. Sauce has the cold embrace. In comes Leshrac. Oh, the good Wyvern ult. He stops Leshrac's damage from coming through. Madior certainly will die. Rudy's under attack. Patience will back him up to an extent, but that's about all he can do there is throw out one spirit and walk away. That's 2 core kills. They were holding hands, and well, they'll die holding hands as Reed gets brought down, solo by Mr. Lens as well. So it's 3 kills again for the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. This lead is now 8k at 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is absurd. I mean, they were in the right place to respond to that chrono. The chrono was also... Madior did it in a way that was really far away from Rudy, and Rudy wasn't right behind him, so The follow-up was really awkward. Rudy gets cursed. Patience isn't there with his ulti. Journey still bot lane. Not. They were just. They were not as prepared for that play as Semi-Aquatic were. And I mean, Rudy went for this Eul's first, and Snapfire has gone for this Atos first, so not particularly scaling builds either. Not items that particularly help them farm or anything. And they're now walking on to Rudy again, and with Rudy on Diesel.
Yeah.
Oh, they see them all on a ward.
He's
They
ready
also,
to go.
everyone sees everybody.
Reed blinks in. He's used up by Diesel. Arena's still available. Spear will somehow stun, but not pull. Reed is stuck inside the arena. Supernova's on the floor. Sauce goes down. In comes Andy Bendy, demolishing Rudy. Maddie time walks in. They want the Windrunner. They need this kill, and they'll get him. The trade is for Reed, but it's a big kill to find on Andy. They'll bring down the Phoenix as Patience. But again, just killing Andy Bendy is pretty good by itself.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good fight for them, regardless. A lot of weird spell casting in that engagement. I think Andy went a little bit too deep for Rudy when he didn't have to. And Sauce got caught right away, which I think was actually just good target priority. Reed had that obviously really awkward initiation where he like kind of pressed the smell and then didn't. They're going on to Journey.
Yeah, they found him under that tower. Sonic Wave hits on to Mattior, wants to fight this, it appears. Atos hits Journey. Journey's dropping. Lens is dropping. Lens gets bashed to death. That's a double bash from Mattior to get enough damage to bring down that Queen of Pain. They'll now head to the Mars. Mars has got nothing but Eul's in 4 seconds. And, well, that actually might somehow be enough. He's walking away with the Phase Boots active. Dire do not see him.
He's like, oh, what is this pathing?
They still don't see him. I'm looking at Dire Vision right now. They do not see the Mars. So he's fine.
Yeah. Well,
we'll find Sauce instead. Shockwave Skewer, and that's a lot of damage. He's dead.
Yeah, good combo. Good recognition by them. I mean, these moves are doing a lot for them. A little ambitious by Diesel. I just want to see him get this blink. I mean, he should just sell his stick. Why is it? Diesel, please. Please, why are you walking out of base? Anyway.
Okay, he likes the stick. The stick gives him happiness.
You know what? I love Diesel's stick too. Glad we can all agree on this.
If he had the blink right now, it'd be a free kill on Patience under this ward, but what can you do sometimes?
Semi-aquatic soldiers are doing a thing that I'm not extremely fond of, that they're not really using smokes. I feel like they're not using smokes at all. And they're also kind of looking for engagements. So they're ending up in this weird territory where it's like, it's under a tier 1, and then they get rotated on.
Ooh, Miss Skewer mid lane. That might cost Reed his life. The arena is committed, and that'll be a dead mag at some point. You look for an RP there at the end, but just could not find the angle.
Yeah.
And now from the side, pincer maneuver, it's Andy Bendy. He finds Mattior. Shackle, focus fire, the Euls from Rudy will save. Time walk away, dot of the spear. Supernova on the floor is being hit by 2 heroes. Mattior is dead. Patience is dead. Rudy is dropping. Journey is dropping. That's a full 5-man wipe. A rout in favor of semi-aquatic soldiers.
Mr. Lens smurfed it. Mr. Lens has definitely played well this game. I think his laning phase looked a little bit awkward, but in terms of his movements and his ultis and his item build, he's played it really solid this game. So, and this is another difficulty about the Phoenix. They picked it really early in this draft with the Faceless Void. When that chrono doesn't go down, the egg dies pretty much instantly between Miss Muerta with Freds, you know, even Sauce. He's got 2 Wraith Bands and a Grove Bow, so don't underestimate this Wyvern killing your egg. Don't do it, Badger.
I'm not going to, don't worry. I saw it in action. At this point, if you're Royal Star, you have that same fear in your heart.
I mean, it definitely gets worse after that fight. Andy is closing in on a Manta. I kind of think that he should just buy a BKB over this Manta, just to avoid getting Eulsed and Chrono Cheesed. But he's gonna farm like incredibly fast, that he can probably get to the BKB regardless. Sitting on level 15. Mr. Lens, of course, he's also going a Manta over BKB. I'm a little less sure about the one on Co-op, but
Listen, BKBs for weenies. Manta's a pretty epic item. It makes sense.
That is true. I can respect the weenie mentality. I mean, time dilation is an insanely OP skill, to be honest. They're gonna take Tormentor. It's a good move.
I'm just saying, whenever Jim plays core, it's never Tormentor. Whenever he plays support, his team goes Tormentor. I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing a pattern. Free shard for Sauce, by the way. That's a nice shard to have.
Yeah, I like this quite a bit actually. This 21 minutes. You just go to with the Tormentor as 4. You give a lot of net worth into your team. This Wyvern shard is actually really impactful. I mean, think both in team fights. Oh, nice catch by
Yeah, he's dead. Blink, Yule, Spear, Shackle, Scream, damage. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think Patience is probably going. I want to say he's on a warding mission, but he doesn't have an observer ward. I guess he got one. He did get one down. So, gonna get some valuable vision, I guess. Not the craziest thing.
Blink in by Lens mid lane, finds Rudy Arena onto RP. Could not get off in time. Good cancel on that one, and now it'll be 2 more deaths. One on Leshrac, one on Mag. Meanwhile, bot lane. Had a bit of a weird 1v1 going on there, but nobody's dead there.
Yeah, Diesel's playing the smartest really clean as well. I mean, he's landing his spears. He's setting up well with the Yules. I think the Yules is a nice choice this game. Just it sets up a lot for their team, and they already have a lot of damage. So, yeah, I think Semi-Aquatic are they're playing this really well across all their members. Sauce even has like an early blink, which I like a lot. In my opinion, Blink is one of the best counters in the game to Chronosphere, just because it always kind of gives some.
Bottom lane, one more catch there is Journey. Under attack, Gleipnir hits, but in come Dire's TPs. They want to fight this desperately. In comes Lens from the west side. Sunrays on the floor. Thunderwave hits 3. Chronospear hits 3 as well, though. Reed is dead. Rudy is dead. Oh no, they finally kill Lens, but Dire collapsing right now. It's already 3 down. Meteor's on the run inside the Gleipnir and inside his doom. A fantastic shackle from Andy Bendy secures that kill. That's a 4 for 1 and a tower kill. This game is it's incredibly one-sided right now.
Adios, payasos. Wow.
Friendly tip, he says. Interesting time for a friendly tip, Lens, after you team wipe somebody.
It actually was a good chrono, so maybe that's what he means. I mean, I feel like Meteor landed a nice chrono. I'm not a big fan of all the Manta styles in this game. I don't know why. I can't really tell you why Meteor goes here. I mean, I assume that it's a response to this Windranger Gleipnir. He probably feels also that he can't fight if he just went straight BKB, but he's kind of forced to. So I think it made that fight a little bit awkward. And now they're just going to look to Roche with the Windranger ulti.
Yeah, Focus Fire is good for this.
Yeah, and also a hero with 15,000 or 15k net worth. That's universal on level 17 is probably generally pretty good.
Yeah, all these things are factual. So, free Roshan for Semi-Aquatic Soldiers, 2 lives for our man Andy, and yeah. It's time for tier 2s to die.
Yeah, I think also Rudy went for a blink as well. So he's going for this weird. He's also going either lens now. So he's on full cope as Leshrac is what's happening. This is obviously not the way that you want to ever end up playing Leshrac when you pick it. I think it's kind of a nice like switch up from what you would expect. They are going on.
No, they found him on a Sentry Ward, the Gleipnir, the Spear. He's not quite dead yet, however, the detection does not go far enough. It's an awkward fight for Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. Rudy goes in for Sauce. Sauce is dropping. He's free pathing. Sonic Wave hits Patience. Patience is dropping. He'll look to get away. RP hits only Andy Bendy. But can't even kill him once, let alone twice. Arena hits Snapfire. Snapfire will fall. Patience falls. That's 3 dead. It's fleeing time. Rudy just casually TPs away. But the result is the same. The fight is lost, and you kill absolutely nothing.
Yeah, this is something that's easy to fall into, a trap that's really easy to fall into when you're playing with Reed, is that he's going to do wacky stuff, and then you're going to feel the need to follow it, even if it's not... Like, him getting caught there is honestly kind of inconsequential. It's not good, but he's invis, they have like this random sentry, they find him, it's kind of whatever, and then they end up using a lot of ultis and walking into it, kind of expecting something to happen when the enemy team is up 23k net worth with an Aegis, so that's kind of awkward team coordination there. Obviously, Madior did not want to come. I imagine he probably expressed that as well. Well, they're still kind of going in. I mean, also you can't really fight around this less track. No offense to Rudy,
They have
Seal Star.
found Andy. They need to kill him twice somehow, and they're actually designed him
I think
anyways.
Andy
Oh
is
no, 100 to 0. Go to Spirit's absolutely nothing other than Jim. There's already 3 dead to Andy Bendy. That's an ultra kill for Andy Bendy. Just give him the rampage.
They just call GG.
They didn't give him the rampage.
This game is really, really difficult. I
He
think.
wants the rampage? Oh, he didn't get it.
Oh. Andy smurfed this one. I think Semi-Aquatic played it very, very clean. But I also feel that Royal Star, I don't think they lived up to their own standard. Is how I would put it. Which is just it's a sad way for the first game to go, but they call GG. I'm assuming just to kind of go next, reset.
Yeah,
I
again,
respect it.
it is going to be their tournament lives on the line in game number 2. Their time, their effort, their prestige, and of course their entry fee, all on the line right now. So for Royal Star, they need a big bounce back game to even bring it to a third game here.
Yeah, really well played by all of Semi-Aquatic. I don't think that any of them played that game. I don't think any of them could have really played that game much better than they did. Maybe Mr. Len's laning phase, but the way he played out of laning phase was really, really well done. And there's always a fair chance too. If you're a Royal Star, I'm putting on the cope, and I'm saying it's the level 1. Don't do that. So
Yeah,
just have a good level 1, and then the game is easy. That's what you say, even if it's true or not.
I agree with you on that one. I'm going to cut us to a quick break between game 1 and game 2. My name's Badger. I'm joined by Rohofireflu. We'll see you soon for game number 2 of Royal Star versus the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. Wherever you go, my mic's not muted. Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for game number 2 of the exact same series you were hopefully watching earlier. It's the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers, champions of the first game, playing Royal Star, who are playing for their tournament lives. I am once again joined by Rohofireflu. How you doing, Roho?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Badger?
Pretty well. I am freshly ready for game number 2, and it seems like we got some of the same heroes. A couple different bands, but yeah, it's Mars, it's Windrunner.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I think that this exchange still favors semi-aquatic, in the sense that Wind Ranger's a lot harder to play position 1 into the Mars. Personally, if I was Royal Star, I think when I come back to draft, my first thought is we need to stop the Bendy brothers, because I think they really. I mean, obviously, I think Mr. Lenz and Diesel played that game really clean, but a lot of your issue came out of mid and bot from that last game, and a lot of issues from mid came from bot with Andy rotating really clean into mid. So um, that's what I would like to do. Obviously, they're saving some of their picks for later on, just to ensure semi-aquatic. I'm sure they know the power of the Bendy brothers, so TA is very interesting.
I agree. We thinking like a mid TA with this one, or what?
I think they're still gonna flex it. Obviously, TA has a pretty solid matchup into the Mars in lane, just because he can't really ever instance through your refraction. Sideblades completely ignores his bulwark if he ever chooses to level it. He's not super high armor. Meld is strong if you can get on him. So I think it's gonna be a flex. Batrider is a very strong pick here. I like that one a lot. Very strong anti-carry hero, since you can always have the ability to just blink lasso, and then obviously is a great counter to the TA. So I think this is a little bit of an oversight to leave Batrider in if you were planning on going TA, especially TA Windranger.
Yeah, probably, but again, when you're doing this number of respect bands, there's only so many meta bands you can do sometimes. I guess Bat probably should have been one of those 5 bands, but yeah.
Yeah, I think. Personally, I think I would let them have the Meepo. I think after the nerfs, I think the hero is fairly balanced. I don't think it's particularly strong against Windranger by any means either, for a lot of reasons. So I think, and the Venge, it's strong, but if I think with so much reserve time, they should try and be a little more careful about picking these kind of heroes and leaving open something
Pudge.
something that's gonna run them over.
Like Pudge?
Yep. I see. The thing is, when you look at Royal Star's lineup so far, they're just these three little guys, and they're ranged, and they all have like 1,000 HP at level 16, and they die to one spell if they're unlucky. So going for these type of like really aggressive Mars, Batrider, Pudge, like these heroes all just want to run at you and be crazy, and so far the Dire lineup doesn't really have like health to sustain it, which really worries me for them.
Feels like a slight problem.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it's not by the nature of these two picks and having TA so early in the draft. It's not a very good TA game or Pugna game. Like Pugna isn't particularly countering anything. I mean, there's nothing using a ton of mana. There's no overwhelming physical damage to decrep. He can get canceled on his sustain a lot. There's no battery for him to fulfill. There's no And obviously, TA's refraction gets really easily broken. There's a lot of disarms, a lot of damage mitigation. Arena is really strong into these three heroes, so I'm not a huge fan of what they've cooked up so far. But I'm hoping that this 18th pick of the draft rounds things out a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, they're using a lot of reserve time. They know the importance of this 18 pick. Rudy is deep in thought, perhaps, deep in concentration, trying to find whatever solves this draft, because this is a I was gonna say it's a very sharp draft, and that it just needs to be executed very well, and that's even more true with this puck pick. These are these are some heroes that are going to require a lot of execution to use in this particular game.
Yeah, I'm not for or particularly against the puck. I mean, the puck is another squishy ranged hero, um, but the lockdown is slightly unreliable for it. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I think you can run the Mars into the puck and it'll be a fine lane for the Mars, kind of difficult for the puck. I think a lot of I think you could play Mars as well with an early Orchid. You obviously have another pick in the draft if he wants to go, say, a Void Spirit, and be really strong against this puck in lane. You still have a fifth pick to address it, and it's a puck game where I could see him having a difficult lane and running out of damage, and he doesn't have a lot of team to play around him, so um, it's a very technical draft that they have, and I think they need to do well in lanes, and they need to be really really careful about their positioning. As the
After last game, I'm a little bit concerned about that, but we shall see. We shall see. It's always a fresh game, always a new chance to recover.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree. I want them to make this lineup look good, but the way they drafted it, the heroes they drafted, the heroes they left open, it leaves a little bit of doubt. So I hope they can nullify that.
And they are coming into the penultimate pick of the draft, and for that matter, their final pick at 23. So this is going to be that make or break selection, either support or an offlaner. Not quite sure which one yet, but whatever it is, it's going to have to put all this concept together here.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they have 23 and not 24, and I'm already so skeptical of their draft is a little bit worrying, but um I see no hesitation and they pick Omni Knight. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. I like certain interactions that Omniate has this game, particularly as a defensive tool of the heroes like Mars and Bats. How it will do in the overall macro game, we shall see, though.
Yeah, it doesn't add particularly a lot to their. I mean, their team fight is like abysmal, but their pick off potential is high. They've cooked something really weird. This is a dish I haven't seen before. It might be foreign. I'm not sure. Um, I'm excited to see what it does, but I'm skeptical. I am greatly skeptical.
Whatever they're cooking, it sounds a little burnt to me, but smells a little burnt to me. But we shall see. We got an Ember Spirit selection 24 for Cuba's own Mr. Lens.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Ember Spirit has a notoriously pretty good lane into puck. It's really hard to break his flame shield. Obviously, it's hard to dodge Sleight of Fist. So pretty traditionally good matchup into puck. Can be a bit annoying with the coil, but they don't really have great heroes to play around the. They don't have great heroes to play around the coil. They're obviously incredibly strong. I mean, Ember is a great hero for diving. Pretty much all of their heroes, save the Omni Knight. So I think it rounds out the draft really nicely. I'd be quite surprised if semi-aquatic soldiers don't come out with a win out on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, we were both wrong about the game one draft, but both of us, I think, are gonna be right about this game two draft with the way it looks. I mean, this is definitely a strong draft from the mind of Sauce, and of course, with that brain trust, I'm sure it's not just Sauce by himself in this case. It's knowing what I know about Jim, but
Yeah, I think they did something really nice. I think they've had I mean, I also think, this might also be a case where, at least from what we saw in game 1, I could definitely see it being, maybe a worse day for the Royal Stars, and a better day for semi-aquatic. So sometimes unfortunately that just happens when you play in leagues and you're playing with, real humans. So, I hope that they really bring it back on this one. I am just, rather skeptical of it.
all right, if you are just joining us, welcome to to game number 2 of this best of 3 series between Semi-Aquatic Soldiers and Royal Star. To set the stage, for Royal Star, it is their lives on the line. They are walking the plank, and they have one opportunity to reverse their course. If they lose this game, they will be eliminated, they will get no money, and they will be moderately mocked by me and Rohofireflu. Speaking of, it is me and Rohofireflu. We're here for this hopefully fantastic game number 2. Radiance, the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers, victors of game number 1, are smoked into this dire side jungle. They've already warded and grabbed the Watcher. It's fantastic vision coverage. Looking at dire vision, they don't know yet. Radiant are pinging. They want action to happen. And the carry podge, Mandy Bendy, is waiting the hook. He wants this hook.
Yeah.
But they've not walked into him yet.
This is smart. I mean, they need to be incredibly careful on Royal Star.
Oh no.
Which they're not being. Reed is typing, I think.
It's disaster time! It will be a dead Windrunner. Question is, can they find a second kill? Because they're certainly getting the 1 kill. There's no doubt about it. First blood goes to the Bat Rider. Hook hits the poke!
Oh,
He's forced to orb. He'll jaunt away. But again, that's so much damage to Rudy. He'll even take a mine here. Oh boy, that is not good.
That was really messed up because they were typing about how they missed Reed, and then Reed walked into them while typing about it. So that was a little bit of emotional manipulation on the stage. Wow, powerful stuff.
And Rudy even tried to troll. Look at Rudy. He tried to troll in the all chat by skilling stats. He didn't even do that. He can't do that. It's impossible. He was trying to distract as well.
Wow. There's a lot of drama, a lot of hot drama in this series. You would think that it'd be a little bit bad, not getting the kill onto maybe your mid for the first blood, but I actually think the Bat Rider is probably one of the best position 5 heroes to utilize just raw net worth, and of course a first blood kill. So I think this is gonna be a little bit sad for them in this bottom lane. He's got a full wand, more tangos coming out, a sentry as well.
All I gotta say is Jim's got the highest MR. He gets the first blood. Problem solved.
True.
All as well. I will say there's a big deny mid lane by ooh, another hook finds Reed. A win run away. I think he's fine, but again, more hook. There's a big deny mid lane though by Rudy. Mr. Len's use light assistance still was denied from Rudy. It's a big deny to get in that mid lane.
Yeah, Mr. Lens is contesting him under the tower. Ends up missing the CS. So much better laning phase so far by Rudy. Looks a little more cleaner, or looks a little more clean this time. So maybe he, he is like no more games, no more carnivals in the mid lane.
That's not. You say no more carnivals. I'm still hearing that circus music right now, though. It never ends.
It really does not. I mean, level 1 definitely made it a little bit more difficult for them than I'm sure they wanted. Mr. Lens is going a very interesting build of...
Hold that thought, Rojo, because bottom lane there will be a dead Omni Knight, barring a miracle. And the miracle will not be here. You're saying, another hook! Only 5 Reed! He's fine. That was a fantastic... That was morale damage. That was morale damage for sure. So, you staying at the mid lane build?
Oh, I don't even care anymore. Andy Benny is like inhuman. This guy's insane. That hook actually clipped through 4 creeps. That's crazy.
He knows something that we don't geometry-wise. I don't know what he knows, but I don't know if he's got like a well-calibrated protractor on his monitor or something, but he's ready to go at this point.
I think he discovered geometry, is what I heard. He's the founding father of it.
Move over Euclid and Archimedes. Andy Bendy coming through.
Absolutely. I mean, who even are those people compared to Froggy to Demon Dog?
Absolutely. I mean, those guys did not go from NA to EU and back again. They were simply EU only players, so not the same.
True.
There's layers to these references here. There are layers. If you get all the references, by the way, you get extra points. So you get all 4 of those references there.
You get a gold star.
He'll personally mail you a gold star.
Royal Star, though.
I mean, I guess if Radiant win, they will secure the Royal Star. So maybe I can ask Jim and Andy for the Royal Star to mail to the viewers.
Going on mid. Oh,
yeah, puck's going in.
Are being used well. Actually, no bottle charges on Rudy.
Use phase shift.
Oh, he could have killed him there with Lens. The thing is, he has no mana on Rudy, so this is a really dicey situation. Honestly, I think he should just walk away because he can. Yeah. There's honestly no point in him being here. He should just go grab the bounty rune. I think it's a little bit silly to Keep contesting. If he does have regen coming on the courier, but he does not, he bought a slipper of agility instead of
Oh,
getting.
he's glyphed. He wants this dive so badly right now.
Reed is walking towards. This is a good movement by Reed. A nice dodge as well by Rudy. So he ends up being fine. I guess when Reed comes, it's a decent time to stay. This is also a great move by Jim, though. So stealing the water rune away from Reed and denying it, more importantly, from Rudy. I think Mr. Lens is making a small mistake by walking back to lane instead of going to the bounty rune, but it doesn't really matter since Rudy's going to walk all the way back.
Yeah, I'm sure Jim would have liked that experience, but if you're Lens, you're happy with Rudy Sealstar being this this sad. And I guess this is what we should have expected. It's Rudy Sealstar playing Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. Radiant are in their element right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're playing very, very well around mid. I think also the Mr. Lens not having resources thing has not happened in these games. I think so. Mr. Lens must have taken that to heart, and he's improved slightly on there. He's going a very aggressive build. Oh, they get a. Oh.
Yeah, I'm watching top lane, missed the kill bottom lane. What can you do? Sorry, you're saying before that?
He's just playing a very aggressive style on mid. I mean, he's going for the Blight Stone plus the raindrops, goes for Sleight of Fist max. So very aggressive, quite effective into this puck. I'm personally a Flame Guard maxer, but I can respect the amount of aggression that can come out from a build like this. And you can definitely see that Rudy is feeling it. And he is so low.
Yeah, power shot missed though. I think he still has to hook something. He's feeling bold right now. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not.
Also, Rudy bought raindrops into Ember, which notably I should say is not very good.
Yeah, on the bright side, he will maintain that 0.8 mana regen. Ember will not break that for a long time, so
that is true. And once he gets ulti, I guess it'll dodge some damage. So not terrible, but I'm not the biggest fan. He's still doing quite good on denies though, Rudy. So this mid lane, even though I think Mr. Lens has played it really clean. Oh, actually,
top lane. Patience and Diesel are both very low. Back to the river. Coil is there onto Rudy's running away. Power shot hits the techies. Rudy will jaunt forward, securing the kill on Sauce. But Lens, with a double damage rune and Slight in 4 more seconds, will secure the kill. He'll get the courier first. He's got Slight in 1. He's silenced. Orb hits. Lens will dodge a projectile. In comes Jim. Chains will be there on both. Down goes Puck. And now it's Reed, who is doomed to die. Goodbye, Reed. Meanwhile, top lane, Patience finally kills Diesel. That took a long time, but he got tipped for that one.
They both tip him, so at least the top lane is feeling themselves. He had boots.
Was that a frame perfect double tip, actually?
It was pretty good. It was pretty close. So yeah, I mean, good by the top lane. Mattior's having a really good game, especially considering that Sauce is focusing a little bit more on mid. But I like this. Jim's rotations on the mid, I mean, honestly, the entire team's rotations on the mid have just been really, really solid in both these games by Semi-Aquatic. Patience does go down for his sins.
He's wanted the wisdom rune. I mean, if they got both wisdom runes, that would have been nice, but yeah, blast off. It's a stun. We are temporarily back to farming. Looks like bot lane, they're going in for Andy Bendy, and he's just dead, actually. Couldn't get the wand charges off in time.
Yeah. That is a little bit unfortunate.
We're chilling. We're chilling again. Looks like both T1 towers safe lane might die pretty soon, though.
Smoking on Sauce, and this is kind of a good move by Lens and Sauce. I think it's a risky move, but they're actually gonna suss it out real quick.
Yeah, they found Mattior, Remnant forward, Refraction has been burned. Mattior turns, in come the TPs, that's Reed, and Journey, and Rudy, all arriving. Ember has been stunned and brought down. It could be more real fast. Diesel, break at the wrong moments. He was probably dead anyways, but snapping Coil the way he did confirmed the kill. That's 2 kills there for Royal Star.
This is one of those, I really do feel that he should have, also look at Patience. This guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. This is a smart guy. Look at him.
He's
He's just
securing
gonna
that
walk down.
mid T1 tower. He's gonna get it.
This is actually really big. Oh.
Oh, he'll still get it. He'll still get it.
um, Mr. Lens does get the TP. This is really unfortunate for Mr. Lens. I mean, it cost him a lot. His net worth is quite low, so this is another reason that I'm inclined to believe that the Flame Guard is a little bit better in Tupac.
Speaking of our protagonist Patience, he's dead, by the way.
Yeah. But the Sleight of Fist is great for securing kills. It's great for playing aggressive on the map. The only thing is that when you're playing into specifically TA, no Flame Guard can sometimes come back to bite you. He used his Sleight of Fist on the shield, or the refraction in that engagement, which I don't think would have killed Matior if he didn't, but definitely one of those cases where that missed DPS can kind of, can cost you a lot.
Yeah, when you're missing 100% of your DPS, it's like, oh, I don't do damage.
Yep, and of course, it makes your farming a little bit slower. It makes you a little less tanky into...
bottom lane, by the way, it looks like Andy Bendy is fighting for his life. He's used all of his spells, so wand on up. But he's got no teammates. He's simply dead, right? Surely.
Yep.
Yeah, he's dead. Meanwhile, mid lane Arena finds Reed. Reed will also be dead. It is a 1-for-1 across the map, but a favorable trade for Royal Star.
Yeah, Runespawn's top. Definitely not bad. If you're Royal Star, you're pretty happy with Matior farming away, Rudy lives, forces Arena out, so not a bad sequence of events at all. I think Andy has had... It's kind of funny because he was so aggressive on the Wind Ranger, and now that he's playing the Pudge, which you would think would be the much more aggressive hero, he's kind of been tied down to this lane. So maybe looking for some action now. He bought a smoke himself. Jim is farming stacks as the Bat Rider, and is going to continue farming the stacks since he is low on HP. And the smoke is going to completely catch Matior off guard.
Yeah, Dismember is available. It's now been used. He can defensively refraction if he can get it off in time, and he does. But the rot burns that one near instantly. That'll be a dead Templar Assassin. Good rotation by Froggy too. Demon Dog.
And he must be in call or something. He heard me. So good rotation by him. I mean, he didn't want to be known as the as just a farmer, because that's not Andy. He gets kills. He's crazy.
He absolutely is crazy. No doubt about it. But he's crazy in a good way.
Crazy, beautiful, or whatever that country song is.
I've never listened to the song, so I would not know the lyrics.
Yeah. I work at a barbecue place, and they have like the same like 50 country songs on repeat constantly.
I think good Shackle finds Lens. He'll still barely remnant in time though. Reed is destined for this kill. He needs it morale-wise, but he's lassoed.
No.
It's Purge. He thought of the power shots. Oh, what a disaster.
And now Reed is dead, or Journey is dead as well.
What a disaster.
I mean, first blood on Jim. This guy's got a 12. If you were impressed by Reed's 13-minute blink with no items, then look no further than Salivating Salamander. He has it at 11:30. Full boots, full wand.
I feel like it makes more sense though, because he's 4-0-4. Meanwhile, I think like Reed is like what, like 1-2.
Oh no, no, Reed's was absolutely impressive, but he does get beaten out in the speedrun any percent.
You're less surprised given that Jim's kind of owning the game right now. Meanwhile, Reed was like not having a fun time, having a really bad game, but now
Jim is only 400 net worth off Mr. Lens.
Is that a Jim problem or a Mr. Lens problem or a Jim solution?
In Jim we believe. In Jim we trust.
Well, it's a bottom lane fighting time, I do believe. Dire have got 4. T1 Towers taken down. Lens TP's in. And at this point, Sauce has already lost all of his HP. Good 2-man shackle from Reed. Lens is forced to remnant away. Jim has lasso and 8. He's playing this little high grounds. Slight Chains was used on Journey. Journey steps away, and well, we're not done yet because we have a December on a Pugna. But Andy's just dead. He's not tanky enough. He doesn't have HP. It's too dead.
A very awkward fight from them, and if they get Mr. Lens plays it nice, doesn't get coiled. This is quite awkward for them. They're not really playing around a specific item timing. Andy kind of gets caught in this weird tree line. I don't think it was a great decision to try and fight there without Diesel, for sure. I think with Diesel there, it makes a lot more sense, but it just turned out really awkward, the kind of going in one by one situation that they ended up in.
So Royal Star have got this lead. It's not a huge lead, but it's certainly a lot better. I mean, this time last game they were down by like 5k gold. Now they're up by 2k gold. So this is some good positive progress.
Yeah, they're playing this game a lot more clean. They're playing this game a lot cleaner, and I think, honestly, I think Rudy has stepped up his performance a lot in just one game. I think it shows how Rudy is obviously an incredible player, but you know, unfortunately, does not have all the time in the world to play Dota. So even in just one game, you can see, you know, kind of the difference that he can have. He's now up, you know, 700 on his mid laner, even with a really difficult start.
Okay, sure. Wait, he didn't use chains. You not use chains?
No.
Oh,
Repel makes
debuff
you,
immunity. I forgot they re-added that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I would have cast it anyways. I still would have casted chains there.
It's valid. I think it'd be fine too. But yeah, I think Rudy is playing this game a lot more clean, and it looks like they're just on the same page a lot more of. They're playing a lot more connected. I mean, they're not getting caught out as much one by one. And importantly, they're farming together when they need to farm together. They're taking towers together, so it feels a lot more like. There feels like there's a lot more cohesive team synergy happening, which is, of course, never bad to see.
Dude, Journey's just going through the Twin Gate into the entirety of the Radiant team. A bold decision by the Omni Knights. He's just fighting 1v5. Rudy's on the way. He's got Coil. He lit it on 4 different heroes. A fantastic Coil from Rudy. Yeah. The damage is there. Shackle hits the Ember Spirit. Arena is a counter play. Lens goes down to the Pugna Ward. Diesel bats the orb of Rudy. Jump through by Rudy looking for Sauce. Sauce is dropping back to Mr. Lens. He'll remnant back in once again. He has one remnant on the floor. One more ready to go. Andy Benny goes down to Reed. Meanwhile, Lens is still juking and jiving, but again, he'll remnant back into Rudy again. Rudy has silence in one.
Jim can fight this.
He's going for Matty Orb. He's just dead. He's got a Deso. And now Len's gonna die as well. That's a full 5-man wipe. And it's Roshan. They died right outside Roshan.
I'm actually not sure they can do Rosh here, by the way. Actually, they probably can with Reed's evasion. But he needs to press it. Okay. Yeah, looks like they are gonna end up getting Rosh, which holy shit. This is a really awful series of events. Maybe somebody on Radiant realizes they're Roshing and tries to catch them. No.
It'll be too late at this point.
Well, I mean, they just landed a lot of spells onto everybody, and the Mr. Lens performance this game is... I don't think that he's playing bad, but I think that he's made a lot of questionable decisions. So, even though I feel that he's been mechanically playing the game fine, I think that Semi-Aquatic and Royal Star have kind of like swapped places in terms of not really knowing whether they want to fight together or farm together. They look a little more uncomfortable in this draft than they did in the last one, which is kind of surprising to me considering how much momentum they had and how aggressive their draft can play if they, you know, if they want to live up to that.
Good Mr. Lens news, Ro. He's moved up from 8th in net worth back to 7th in net worth again. He's making positive progress.
Yeah, he really wanted to go for this Orchid, and now he feels that he's too far behind, and he's going to go back for the Mage Slayer, which, of course, was nerfed pretty heavily, so his game is looking rough. He's going to get one shot by Omni Knight if this Omni Knight gets on top of him. Omni Knight is now sitting on Max Hammer of Purity with plus 50% or plus 50 base damage and his shard. Yeah. This guy's kind of juiced. Journey's definitely juiced.
Once he has that Blink Dagger, it'll be just not only juicing, but it'll be mobile juicing. At that point, you're going to do a lot of juicing.
Yeah. We're used to Andy doing the mobile juicing, but he's been kind of quiet this game.
Mid lane, Yules, Arena have just been used on Pugna. Pugna certainly will die. Rudy wants to... He's not dead yet. He's life draining. He's actually alive. They kill Mr. Lens.
Diesel's dead too.
Oh no, they couldn't even kill the Pugna. An absolute disaster. Diesel, he dodged the spear. Meanwhile, we see a Shackle. It did not latch on Soft, but doesn't even need the latch. Back over to the mid lane. Diesel is confirmed dead, so it's 3 more kills for Royal Star, and
Jesus. It's a complete
yeah.
stomp the other way. I think that Rudy and Andy switched minds and bodies Freaky Friday.
This is
Because
a real terrible Tuesday then.
wow, I like that Badger. Yeah, I mean it is kind of weird. I think that Andy's been a little more quiet this game. I think that Rudy has been playing really well this game. I think his puck has been really clean. So
Speaking of Rudy, he's found Jim.
oh,
He even
yeah.
dodged a flame break. He didn't even need to dodge the flame break. He could have tanked the flame break and been fine, but he dodged it just for effect. It made Jim frowny face.
Yeah, that's really sad. That's really mean by Rudy. Bullying his friend.
Okay, after game
And
one, it's
they
fair.
are gonna.
After game one, it's definitely fair.
Yes, it is. Andy needs a TP out. Of course, they knew that he would go here. So
And he's dead.
Making mistakes is the path to wisdom.
yeah,
Even all chat lines up.
Andy needed to TP out a little bit quicker than that. So this is really unfortunate. I feel like Radiant got a little bit behind, and now they're really unsure of what to do with their team and where they should be playing. And it shows. I mean, especially compared to the last game that they were doing so well with. Madior also has Shard, notably. I think that TA Shard is incredibly broken. So, yeah. I am a little bit scared. Jim, scaling nice with the boots of travel, at least.
This is true. I mean, he's been very competitive net worth wise with both the Mars and the Ember. So this could be one of those weird economic distribution games from Semi-Aquatic Soldiers.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming up on Mr. Lens. I think it will not be long before he surpasses him. I wouldn't hate to watch Jim go like an Orchid or something, by the way. I mean, it's not particularly strong into Repel, per se, but I think they're struggling a little bit with the fact that none of them went for... Like, Diesel went again for this Eul's build, which I think is actually not as strong this game. I think he would have gone straight for the Blink, considering how strong Arena is this game.
Jim's so good.
Yeah, Jim is very good. And, of course, Jim goes for this early Blink. I just feel like their itemization does not match the aggressiveness of their draft. And even to some degree, the item builds they went in the early games, or the skill builds, so... This is sad. It's a little sad to see, but, you know, this is, of course, a salivating salamander team, so they're not going to go down without a little bit of tomfoolery, a little bit of ratting.
I've been talking. I've been panning my camera from tomfoolery to tomfoolery. I mean, Jim cutting bot wave, literally soft suiciding from his mid lane, back to Lens cutting bottom lane. Like, it's nonstop right now.
Yeah, Journey opted for the phylactery, so even more damage in his build. I'm not a huge fan. I wish he kind of just went blinked, but...
Me too. I think something like Blink Harpoon I think would have been really good for Journey here.
Yeah, I don't think he really needs more damage. I mean, Mr. Lens is sitting on 1200 HP. Like, what do you need a phylactery for? You're just gonna one-shot him with Blink.
He wants to one-shot the Pudge instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's another instance of damage. This is... I mean, they're here. They're smoked. I think they actually have a nice position considering that Reed isn't here yet. But of course they're walking into traps, into a ward, into Glimmer Cape, into Nether Ward.
Oh, Blink Coil from Rudy. Radiant look to counter. Arena will be there on 3. Mr. Lens has already fallen. Jim's dropping. Rudy looks to finish the kill. But TA might be a trade. TA has no lead. He already lost it. So it's 1 for 1. Now a 2 for 1. Journey might end up dying. That's a 2 for 2. Rudy will attempt to escape. He's tanking into the tower shots right now. Radiant, focus patience. His life drain has been canceled by the spear from Diesel. Rudy's dropping. Andy's dropping. Everybody's dropping. Patience secures the kill. Shackle latches. Focus fire to follow. 4 kills for Royal Star. Now it's just sauce. Power shot misses, but it doesn't even need to hit. It'll still be a full 5-man wipe for Royal Star.
Yeah. I think... they were really ready for that play. Unfortunately, Mr. Lens doesn't get any spells off. And yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it, is that Mr. Lens got absolutely no spells off. But Andy chasing for Patience just was not respecting the Bugna, especially walking into the TA traps as well. So yeah, that was a big mistake. They turned a really good position into a complete team wipe. And now they're going to lose most of a tier 2 off of it. If not the entire thing, just by patience, slowly whittling it down. Hook from Andy?
Well, he's
Oh, he
back.
doesn't
He'll
need it.
blink Dismember instead, focusing down Reed. Reed will dodge the hook. Andy will have his brother Jim back up lasso anyways. Meanwhile, Lens dies to a neutral creep instead of dying to Mattior. So I think Mattior went in for Lens. Lens somehow denied to the neutral creep, and that got him a tip.
Oh, I wish I could go back and see how he died to a creep. I feel like he probably had like his remnant in a creep camp, you know, and then he had hits from Mattior following him. And he probably just died to the creep camp. Which is better than dying to Mattior, I guess. But
Speaking of Mattior, he's
Oh,
hooked
blink
by Andy Bendy. He's out of control. And Mattior will fall. Doesn't even try for the defensive reaction. Probably should have used it, but he didn't, and now he's dead anyways. Over to the top lane, meanwhile, it's a 1v1 between Rudy Sealstar and Sauce. Sauce is...
will die eventually.
He's kind of threading the needle right now, buying some time for his team to arrive. The Glimmer Cape is, again, buying him a little bit more time. Blast off hits. Sauce has one more red mine. Rudy's
doing
actually
so much
kind of
damage.
dying right now.
Dude, Sauce is playing him like a fiddle.
And well, it's time for the
He gets
fiddle
the root.
to be very, very sad.
dead.
He'll
Oh,
blink to the west, right into Sauce, though, and again another Glimmer Cape. Rudy will jump right into Andy Bendy and
Andy
Jim.
Bendy.
Surely there's no way out.
I mean, Sauce put on the skates. That was incredible.
Tip this man.
Goodness.
You better tip Sauce for that one.
How does this guy not get any tips? He gets an XD. Okay, honorary XD. Get this man on Frozen on Ice. That was incredible. Wow.
Prepare for a lesson.
It's like watching a man on roller skates versus a man with butter on his feet. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like Rudy didn't even play that bad. Sauce just like. Sauce
Think
just hit
mid
on
lane
him. And he's
Dismember
fighting
on
in.
Journey is cancelled by Reed, but in comes Jim. In comes Diesel. The arena. The lasso. They're focusing Journey. Journey runs to the south. Patience heals up Reed. Back to Journey. He's 1/3 HP. He's now 0 HP. Mattior's arrived. Back to the mid lane where he died last, but Radiant disengage.
If there's a million haters of this phylactery, I'm one of them. If there's one, you know where I'm going with this, right?
I know you're going with this one, and the thing is, there's at least two. It's me and you. Until both of us die, there will be two of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he already has a Mage Slayer, right, on Mr. Lens, and he has Flame Guard. So obviously, you're not doing anything into the Ember, realistically, with this phylactery. Of course, he can, you know, it's also particularly easy for him to dodge it. It's another instance of damage for Andy to mitigate with the Flesh Heap. He is going to be building, you know, into some magic resistance as well. Either BKB or the Eternal Shroud, which he's looking at. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I think it really slowed down his other items, and it doesn't have any great synergy with him. He didn't get it super early. It's just... You know, I think that he could have done a lot with... honestly, you know what I would have even liked? I think he could have gone Orchid. I think he could have bought an Orchid. And you know what? It would have been sick. Or he could have just bought Blink, or he could have just bought Harpoon. And now he's stuck on this phylactery. He's not farming super fast with it. It's... You know, he's farming okay, but... I'm not a big fan. I think it delayed a lot, so... you know, it's not like Journey's losing the game, but... I feel like he was doing a lot on this Omni Knight, and that item very quickly turned a lot into kind of a little.
If Royal Star end up losing this game, I'm going to single-handedly blame Phylactery. I don't care what you say.
I'm going to be honest, it'll not be an entirely small portion of the blame.
You can have like either Rudy or Maddie or Soul die for nothing. I'll still blame Phylactery. Speaking of top lane, Mr. Lens will remnant away from the aforementioned heroes I just mentioned. But
Mattior somehow managed to miss Psionic Trap, so that's pretty impressive.
what can you do sometimes?
Shout out to Mattior.
Ay. Alright, so I know earlier we were highlighting the creep cutting shenanigans. I just want to point out, literally all three lanes are setting up for creep cut. Literally all three lanes.
Yeah. Roshan is roaring, so they do know it's going on, but it dies really fast to this. Actually, Omni Knight is pretty good at Roche, just since he does like a ton of pure damage. Obviously, TA is incredible at Roche, so they do not contest the second Roche. I'm a bit surprised by this because Jim is typically very fond of. I mean, he's typically just very on top of being at Roche, playing around Roche. It's hard to play around, if with all these TA traps and whatnot. But I'm a bit surprised that it went, it died with.
Oh,
that
Mr.
little
Lenz about to solo die to Rudy. What a fantastic kill from the puck. I think, given the whole Roshan thing, like, Jim has to know about it, so it has to be a conscious decision. Like, you know what? We're not strong enough. We can't be there, because he has to know about these Roshans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just odd. I mean, they obviously were doing okay in fights, so it's a bit strange to me. It's a bit of a strange decision. I think that also they're not sitting on particularly that many items that would scare me on Dire, but Michelin's dying is of course not very helpful to either plan. So
Yeah, he's going BKB, but he's about 2 components away from finishing BKB, so it's gonna be a little bit longer. Until then,
at this point,
he's food.
Mr. Len should buy Wind Waker. He shouldn't go for BKB.
That's
Because
tragic.
the puck is gonna hit 25, and it's gonna be too hard for like 25 is just the old like Ember literally can't do anything into puck 25. It's actually impossible. Your game is unplayable unless you have Wind Waker. That's like fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
in
obviously
its quick buy, there's no Waker of Wind. It's BKB,
Yeah.
Aether Lens, E-Blade. None of which are Wind Waker, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, Rudy has an interesting build. He's planning on going Scythe next. So either way, the BKB might be, or either item might be, unusable. Andy is.
He has bit
gonna
off
TP
more than he can
out
chew.
the Dream Coil.
Currently, he's dead here, and the question is not if, but when. The answer is now. Mattior secures that one. You want to blink
Yeah.
this member on puck. A bold decision. Even if executed properly, probably wouldn't have worked out. And wait, Jim is still here
And
bottom lane.
Jim
I thought Jim was
is-
going to TP away. He went for a creep cut instead, and now he's probably going to try to juke, but he's just dead as well, I think.
It really depends on if this. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yep, he's
Yep.
out of mana.
Inhibit doesn't even have to use the diffusal. Oh,
It's got no mana cost, low cooldown, but Ree gets to hold it for later, you know?
sure. Very interesting. I mean, I don't. I'm a little bit sad that the Benny brothers. Okay, so I think Mr. Lentz has assessed the situation because he now has the item components of the Eagles. Good recognition by him, to be honest. I am still skeptical of of how he's played the game throughout, but I am glad that if there's a decision to make into the late game, this is actually a really important one.
It's one of those, one game at a time situations. Lens is really one of those high variance players. Had a fantastic game one, not a great game two. May have to be game number 3 we're looking at. Even then, there's time to redeem game number 2 still.
Yeah, as shown with Rudy. Rudy Sealstars put on an absolute clinic this game. He's top net worth.
Speaking of Rudy, he blinks in, silences to Shackle
down
from
Shackle.
Reed. It's fantastic. Into the Gale Force, into the Coil. They want the Mars, but he's quite tanky. Lens, Sleight of Fist,
Bernie
Diesel's
one-shot.
still dead. And Lens gets silenced! The last minute silence to silence Mr. Lens. That's 2 cores down. Andy's trying. He'll hook in Mattior.
Ooh,
That'll be
Aegis.
1 life lost on TA. Problem is, she's got 1 more life to play with. Andy is now invis thanks to his teammate's Glimmer Cape, which saves his life. He can go for hook if he wants to. He's aiming, he's firing, but he's off
okay.
the mark. It's a buyback from Batrider as well. This is not a good defense as it currently stands. Blink, but he's silenced again. They silenced the Batrider. That is a
That is
dieback.
not a
Jukes
good
and
time to
Journey,
die.
but I don't think Journey's got cheese. If he gets the cheese off, he's fine. He's not even
Yeah,
using the
it's gonna be
cheese.
impossible. It's gonna be impossible to not get off the cheese, to be honest.
She's actively choosing not to cheese. Hook, oh, the hook has split the wickets. He's hitting nothing. He'll blink, but this member is on cooldown.
It's looking right now, Badger, that we're 0 for 2. This is not looking good for us.
Still think I think our logic was correct both times, but sometimes the results goes to Herman too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I think we had pretty sound logic, but I mean, both teams are just proving us wrong. I guess just pick the wonkier lineup.
Wait a minute. We predicted both teams to be 1-1 after 2, right? And it's gonna be 1-1 after 2. Therefore, we're actually fully correct, bro.
Oh,
we,
fair point, Badger. Fair point.
we have outsmarted the prognosticators again.
Puck is almost out of safe. Jeepers, Jeebilkers.
I
This
love
is not
Hex
a
on
good look.
Puck. I just love seeing Hex on Puck. I don't know why. I just like it.
It's really smart. I think this is a really great purchase because Mr. Lens is forced to go this build where he doesn't have Kaya Sanj, he can't buy Lincolns, he's forced to go Wind Waker. So his HP pool is really low. He can die really easily in a scythe. Especially despite Journey's slight blip of a phylactery, now it's looking fine because he just farmed up a bunch of net worth off the back of Rudy and Madior. He looks really strong. He's dealing a ton of damage. His repel is really broken in the enemy lineup. So he's a pretty happy guy. Working towards Conda, which will make his damage even higher.
Well, it's time for action. 3-man smoke from semi-aquatic soldiers. They'll find at least one little kill on Patience, surely. And there it is. Sentry on the floor. Dismember. Spear away. Not that it'll matter. And he gets that kill.
Definitely a good kill to get. I mean, it slows their timer a little bit. Not gonna matter much in the grand scheme, but I mean, anything that slows this game is obviously gonna be really important. I do like the itemization overall by semi-aquatic. I think their items in synergy with each other are quite strong. I mean, they have the nice ags with the Bat Rider, the hook, from the ags from Techies. So interesting synergy there. I'm not sure if they're thinking about that in draft or not, but actually pretty cool. And they've nicely itemized. Andy has the Eternal Shroud, but also sitting with the Ghost Scepter. They've got a few Yules, a Heaven's Halberd on Diesel, so they're splitting their damage types and damage mitigation really well. The only issue is that they're down 22,000 gold in value of that good itemization, and of course, I think that also this Diffusal BKB. I mean, Reed is a monster. This game, he's incredibly farmed. I think he's itemized well. Madior's got a pretty classic TA, and Rudy's cooked up a nice little Kai Sanj scythe build, so he's gonna be a menace. He's gonna be
Here we
free.
go again, mid lane. Reed nearly
Nice.
solo kills Jim. He'll end up dying fourth, but he bought time for the
Not
team to
the
arrive.
pretty.
Coil hits on 2, lasso on Puck. Patience is life draining. In comes Mr. Lens, slight chaining. Patience gets hooked in by Andy Bendy. Jim goes down. Madior is fighting. Hex on Mr. Lens. TP away by Andy Bendy. But the Radiant are about to crumble. Silence on Lens. Lens to fall. Jaunt in by Rudy, hunting for Sauce. Sauce is half HP, and he's losing whatever he's got pretty fast. Orb again forward by Rudy. He's disarmed, but Journey is there to finish that one. It's a 3-for-1, and it's looking a lot like Game 3 at this point.
Yeah, they weren't able to utilize the Techie Zags. Shield Rune was really strong there for Rudy. Makes him pretty much unkillable. And yeah, it's just hard to fight into them at this point. They have so much range and so many ways to kite, so many ways to disable you. Incredibly high damage. So
I mean, you were mentioning the good hook phase shift from Rudy. Spear misses. Rudy gets away for the time being, though. Yules the puck. Techies and Pudge, they're focusing once again. He's got phase shift once he's no longer stunned. He'll orb. He'll phase shift. He'll look to jaunt. He'll jaunt away in time. In comes Andy, hunting for kills. He's desperate. Blast off. Hits 2. They'll focus Madior, who only has 1 life and no big KP. He's dropping. Coil hits on Alvari, though. Down goes Jim. Journey still fighting. There goes the cheese. He fermented that one for a long time. And now it's only Mars against the world. You mentioned how Radiant itemized well, but there's no itemizing out of a 30k deficit. And we're seeing it right now.
yeah, especially.
And again, they're going to Hex Mr. Lens. He's just... Well, he's saved by Andy. He is saved by Andy. Problem is, Andy's also dying rapidly. Lens pops out of Andy Bendy once again. He's sliding around, but he's just dead. They'll head to Andy Bendy, and the GG is called. That's a 2-game situation where it's turned into a 1-1. It's right at the game 3.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate case that Bat Rider is a hero that can do a lot, but is also a hero that requires a team to be able to play with in order to be strong. Assuming of course that he doesn't get like some obscene like 30k net worth amassed. So Jim wasn't able to quite do as much, and they obviously didn't snowball the early game as much, which I was a little bit surprised given their draft. But really well played by Royal Star, I think, just in I mean, I don't think you can take away that they played lanes really clean. I think Rudy had an exceptionally good game. So yeah, yeah, the boys did it. So game 3 it is.
On that note, I'm going to cut us to a break between Game 2 and Game 3. My name is Badger, joined by Rohofireflu. We'll see you for the winner take all, loser goes home, Game 3 in a couple minutes. Greetings and salutations, Dota fans, for the third and final time tonight. Because it is the winner take all. Game number 3 between the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers, who won game 1 in a rout, and Royal Star, who won game 2 in a rout. I'm joined, of course, for the third game in a row by Rohofireflu. And hopefully it'll be a pretty fantastic game number 3.
Yeah. They already have some very interactive and fun heroes left in.
Okay, funny part is Journey's all chatting. And you know what? I'll back up Journey here. In previous patches, this is the guy who would play a lot of different heroes. He's not allowed to right now. He's playing, and I quote, red guy with big weapon.
He's not wrong.
He's right. He is right.
He's not wrong. Blushing emoji. I'm a little bit curious about this Dragonite. I mean, it doesn't like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't really strike me as something that they would be great with, but considering that I feel like the last draft that they picked seemed like they're kind of bread and butter, and they didn't look extremely confident on it. So maybe I just have the wrong read about Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. They do give up the Venge though, which is interesting. In lieu of an Invoker ban. I'm not entirely sure about the Invoker ban, but this is a nice insurance here to have. Vengeful Spirit.
5 seconds remaining.
And we're at the point now, we're just, we are chilling between picks again. A lot of meta selections again, which, what can you do?
You know, it happens. You know, these games haven't been that long though, Badger. So maybe your dream will come true of, you know, getting out of a series fast, or you know what I mean. Not having it go longer than the 630 series.
I'm looking over at the other series right now, and it's looking really much like the case like we're gonna get out first. Because not only are they on game 1, they're barely into game 1, so
Ooh, yeah.
they're at minute 13 in game 1, so
There
they're
wasn't
to be a
even a
little
pause
while.
last game, was there? That's incredible.
Is there not actually?
I don't think there was. Thinking on it. Bonking on it. Yeah, pretty spicy stuff.
For those who are wondering what I'm referring to the other series, by the way, it is where you will be rated to when tonight is done. It's Lads Playoffs, Polar Ass versus Marana's Moonlit Marauders, an elimination best of 3 in normal Lads Playoffs. That's over with Math and Edition and Shane. You'll be there in, I don't know, half an hour, however long this game takes.
They have locked in Marana Wyvern on Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. This Marana hero, it is a little bit surprising to not have seen it picked up in either of these games, considering it is the most picked hero at Dream League. So you would think that somebody would value that, but personally, I think that the Marana is, I mean, especially in something like Lads Plus, I think that it can both be incredibly powerful and incredibly underwhelming. So going for something a little more consistent, I think, is completely fair and understandable. But of course, when you have set up like Dragonite presses W, definitely makes the hero feel a little more consistent. And I think it's also, I mean, both Jim and Sauce, I feel, are quite comfortable on this hero, but I think more than likely it'll probably go to Sauce.
Yeah, I mean, just given the sort of stylistic way that Jim likes to play in these games and the way that Sauce likes to play in these games, you're almost certainly right.
I think Sauce is also the more comfortable Marana player of the two. It's not a hero I think I see Jim particularly gravitate to, which I think makes sense given his playstyle. He also is a notorious lover of Wyvern, definitely one of his go-tos, so definitely would not be surprising to see if it was Jim on the Wyvern.
This is a guy who I have literally heard him rant on at least a half dozen occasions. I'm sure you have as well, about how he was upset about right click Wyvern being good because it entailed Wyvern getting nerfed, which means that he couldn't play at support.
Mm-hmm.
he
that
said
sounds
it a bunch of times.
That sounds really similar to somebody else who likes another universal hero who is typically a support but got nerfed for being a right clicker. Can't really think of the hero or the player though.
No, no comment, Ro. No comment.
Sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to bring up old trauma.
Luckily, though, we do have some more Pugna. Again, we were doubting the Pugna pick game one, but Patience kind of owns, so he'll look to
Yeah,
kind of own again. I don't like that.
I don't hate this. I mean, I think I am not a big fan of Slark in general. I think especially in the current patch, but given the amount of save that he has and how low DPS the Dire team is at the moment, I'm actually kind of down. I'm kind of down with the Slark. I think if there was ever a situation for the hero to be good, personally, I think this is one of one of the few.
He is literally going to kill his Pugna on Wyvern ulti, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I think there's a lot of things he could pick, and a lot of them probably would just kill his Pugna. So, I mean, Slark just feels really reliable once he gets later into this game. So I'm curious what Dire is going to cook up to deal with it. Um, Obviously, I mean, Dragonite into Slark is a little bit of a strange lane, just because Slark wants to hit tanky hero, gain stat, but tanky hero hits Slark back, Slark not so tanky. So sometimes these like lanes that you think Slark would counter go these really weird directions. I never really know how Slark lanes are going to play out, so I'm curious to see if they want to keep this on Diesel and make things easy with the Mirana, or if they want to go for something a little spicier with Mr. Lens. I'm just curious where they're going to flex their heroes.
Yeah, a lot of reserve time getting chewed into right now. Sauce, he's thinking. He's thinking real hard right now. He is deep in thought, Rojo.
I think if they want to play the puck, I think it's pretty good. I think Quap as well. Those are personally what I would gravitate to as just high AoE damage heroes. They do go for Arc Warden, so this game they leave the Meepo and the Arc Warden open, and Andy graciously accepts.
It's
Yeah,
come to the Arc Warden.
Yeah, I mean that's exciting. I think Andy cooks really hard on this hero. He's very good at it. I don't particularly see much value in it this game, as an Arc Warden extraordinaire myself, but I mean, it's Andy Bendy Arc Warden, so you can't ever be upset when you have that on your team. You can build two force staffs. It can push Slark off enemies with shards. It's got a lot of utility against Slark, but of course Slark has the very fun and interactive ability to press W towards his opponents and then press R on his opponents. So
And the
I'm
best,
curious
and
to
the
see
best
how he
part, he
does
can just
that.
buy a shard and then press the R skill. But again, and even better this time.
Again, but also on teammates. It's really awesome. I do think Slark is a little bit weak, but Arc Warden also received some nerfs as of recent, so you know, he's gonna feel a little bit silly, a little bit goofy maybe, but it's Andy Bendy Arc Warden. Can't ever be upset. They do ban Tinker, they ban some notable Rudy heroes, and then pick up a Leshrac. This makes sense. I mean, I was thinking about Lesh. It is obviously a pretty typical hero to play into Slark, but the Rise of Mage Slayer, of course, has made Slark, I think, more tolerable into Leshrac, and you're playing Leshrac into Pugna Mars Venge, so if you manage to have a similar situation to Rudy Sealstar in the first game where you get kind of behind, the game can be really, really difficult for you. Really, really difficult. But it can also, these heroes aren't incredibly high DPS on their own. Rudy does pick the OD, which I think is a solid response. So, what are you thinking here, Badger, when you look at both teams?
On one hand, I don't like OD, the hero. But on the other hand, whenever OD gets picked, I get to call his ulti hammer being dropped. I can say, oh, the hammer drops. That excites me. I'm getting ready for the hammer to drop.
Would you say the hammer is coursing through your veins?
You know, I'm getting ready. I got my my ISCisms ready to go.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it's an Arc Warden game. I think that the game is gonna be made or braid by Arc Warden. So you know, it's Andy Bendy, always a player to watch. So I'm excited. I want to see what he cooks up. I wonder what build he's gonna go. And I want to see some good clean Dota for a game 3.
See, before I say why I prefer the Dire Draft, I'll give you an anecdote which explains why. So this is VAD Season 12 playoffs. It's our tournament lives on the line. Literally tournament lives on the line in the loser bracket. What do we turn to when shit at the fan, chips on the table, back against the wall? Andy Bendy Arc Warden. He played one of the best games of his life. And again, it's similar pressure here. Not only is it the prestige and elimination, it's literally money on the line. This is a money player right here, so he'll deliver, and that's why Semi-Aquatic Soldiers will win game number 3. If you are just joining us, you are in the right place at the right time. It's the winner take all game number 3 between the Semi-Aquatic Soldiers and Royal Star. Winner goes on closer to the massive prize pool of $500. Loser goes home in shame, down their entry fee. My name is Badger. I'm once again joined by Rohofireflu, and hopefully we'll be in for absolutely fantastic game number 3.
Thanks, Badger. I'm really excited to see this game. I think this is gonna be a big game of net worth. I think is what's gonna I mean, obviously net worth is a big decider in a lot of games, but just looking at these drafts, I think a lot of these heroes can go both ways really heavily. Leshrat can have an incredibly difficult game this game if he is not careful, but if he, you know, if he ends up getting a lead, I think that he has a lot of build paths, he has a lot of options to go towards, and his hero in the late part of the game with potentially an Ags and, you know, other items at his disposal to deal with his Stark and his OD, he can do a lot. So yeah, I think from just pure draft point, I do prefer, I think, the Radiant a little bit, but I'm only saying that as a friend to bias the game towards Semi-Aquatic. So
You know, Reed has pointed out something interesting. This is the first game in the series that there's not been a pre-horn first blood in favor of Semi-Aquatic Soldiers.
yeah, Sauce and Diesel are doing a nice thing here. Patience, I think, he's being a little bit silly. He's got it. Oh, I think he's a bit late to respond to this block. Oh, I think he missed it.
Oh, he got
Okay,
it, he got it.
It works.
Matty
Well
just
played.
needs to not reflexively aggro the creeps now, and he'll be fine. Okay, he's recovered, he's recovered.
You know, I want to... Oh, big deny top on this range creep. They used both spells to try and get it on Venge and Mars, and they missed it anyway.
Oh, what an outplay from Mr. Andy Bendy.
No, it was actually Jim.
What an outplay from Mr. Strawberry Shark.
True. This is really annoying for Slark, playing into Marana in the laning phase. This is a really miserable position for her to have to lane into for Slark historically.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretty much never get onto him, and he burst half your HP with one spell.
But it is
So
one
even
of those,
though...
oh, it is one of those things where you get Dennis later on, though, where even though the laning interactions are not fun, Slark is notoriously rough for Marana to deal with later in the game.
That is true, but Marana these days has a lot of like build paths that he can go, so I feel like it's not too difficult to just go force that first item on Marana nowadays, and feel pretty happy with that. I am not a fan at all of Sauce. He's just not leveling his spell. Just press Q on the enemies. It's so broken. Like, you have full mana for so long. Like, what's going on?
He's done it.
Now he leveled it.
He skilled
So
the
it's
Q.
like, he could have had a full another Q. It cost 80 mana for like 100 damage. It's like so broken. It's like, and then he just levels. He just like Sauce. Like, come on, man. Like, please, man. Like, come on, man.
The desperation pleas from Rojo. It's still not working.
Oh, they're going for a kill onto Reed. And he does have wand charges.
Yeah,
but
he's definitely dead. He accepts his death there, not even wasting those stick charges. First blood there for Jim on the Wyvern.
Yeah, nice discipline. Mid lane is fairly even as of the moment. Rudy has a very interesting Ring of Regen in his inventory.
Yeah, that is interesting. What is that going to build into this game exactly?
I have seen some ODs buy Tranquils in the past, so that's not the craziest thing I've ever seen. It kind of makes sense on the hero a little bit, but he might also just keep it casual. I mean, he built a Bracer. I don't really understand why you'd buy these items over just getting a Wand. I feel like Wand is like kind of more sustain, but
Bottom lane, arrow hits from Sauce into the blood grenade. Patience is running away. Mattior will pounce forward. Everybody's dropping bottom lane. Nobody's dead.
yeah, they do get the Lotus is a nice, and they have a nice stacked wave here, so potentially some dive potential. Maybe just looking to harass them under the tower. Nice arrow from Sauce actually. Really good harass. Although I do think he should just be using his. I think he this Q spell literally cost 80 mana. Like I really just want him to use it. To be honest.
So I was thinking about it. Last time I've seen OD Tranquils was back when like 2013. I used to buy Tranquils Buckler first on OD because it triggered Essence Aura to use Tranquils active and Buckler active.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was literally 11 years ago. That's literally my day. Prime Badger right there.
I saw it. I'm pretty sure I saw some dude in some game in like I don't know, like 22 or something. But I mean, it's not like that crazy. I think he is just gonna keep it casual. It's a little bit wonky. I don't fully understand it, but
What's in the courier for
he's
Rudy?
doing well.
It's a
It's
glove.
probably okay. It's a glove, I guess. Yeah, mid lane is going fairly even. Obviously, OD has some more denies. He's gonna catch up on CS here. Fuck OD, by the way.
Yep.
Putting that out there. What a boring ass hero. Anyway,
Okay, if you like sort of tier
they're
list
going
the
on
most,
elevating cylinder.
well, they are going on him. He is still fine though with that high attack range. He's looking to play on around. Splinter Blast was casted, and everybody's fine. Meanwhile, we're seeing a 1v1 between Sauce and Patience. Sauce is winning the trade, though neither will die. Is OD the most hated top lane spear on Andy Bendy?
Oh,
Gets stunned by Reed. He'll stick on up, looking to fight with the last of his breath right now. He'll get the kill before he dies. It's 1-for-1 so far. Sauce TP's in. He's got arrow in one. No Starstorm.
Oh, he's dead though.
No short range arrow, and they'll eventually kill Journey. The Sauce
killed
dies
him.
under the tower.
Well
It'll be a
played,
2-for-2. Wait, Journey's he's so tanky. He's still dead though. It's a 2-for-2.
Really well played by Journey. And to answer your question, yes, OD is probably one of the most hated mid laners.
I know he's among the most, but is he number one? Is it's like Tinker number one? Who's number one on the shit list?
It's funny because Rudy also is like a notorious Tinker player. I mean it depends on what you're. I think in general, probably across all brackets, it's probably Tinker. I think probably high level play consensus is that OD laning is the most like obscenely boring. Yeah, I mean in probably any level of play, but I think especially the higher you go, the more you're like, like I spend hours every day like honing my skills and my mechanics so that I can precisely, interact with my opponents and do this, and then he literally just presses W and you're just hands off keyboard for 4 seconds, and it's so like, it's just so unbearable.
There were a couple of patches where Pangolier was very maligned among high level mid laners, but there were a couple of numbers nerfs to Pango, and now we're no longer seeing as much Pango hate anymore.
People get really frustrated by Pango, but the thing is, at least like Pango has a lot of spells to land. At least, even if he's overtuned, there's still a lot of skill expression in his kit. So I feel like as much as people dislike Pango, it's not as painstakingly just like obnoxious. They're going on to Jim.
Yeah.
He's got a nice
Both supports very low top lane. Journey has level 3 Rebuke ready to go. He looks towards Jim, but Jim's still a quarter HP. Andy Bendy looks to slow Journey. With those Spark Rays, he will slow Journey. Journey's still running in because he's a Mario. He doesn't really care about Dota 2. Meanwhile, mid lanes have died from Mr. Lens. Looking for Rudy. Rudy will use the aforementioned W spell just to be absolutely fine. Back to top lane. They're running again in for Journey. The Venge TP'd away from the lane. Now Journey will eventually get run down, barring correction, a good spear from Journey that saved his life.
Oh, but this is so good by Lens. This is really well played by Lens. I mean, worst case scenario, he gets the Wisdom Rune, which is a great scenario. So, best case scenario, he catches Journey here and gets a kill. But it looks like he gets away with a little bit of haste, walks back to the mid lane. It's kind of sad because he is still behind an XP even after getting a Wisdom Rune. But I mean, denying a Wisdom Rune is worth an incredible amount, so really well played.
Yeah, maybe he's still behind the OD in experience, but he made the Radiant support sad. That's what matters. Top lane is a fight there. Mid lane as well. So the 2v2 top lane. Andy Bendy will secure the kill on Reed. TP in by Soft to go in for Journey. Meanwhile, mid lane, Lens forces to cancel his dive thanks to TP in by Pugna. Back to top lane. Journey is trying to fight, trying to kill the Arc Warden. He cannot do so. Back to mid lane. They're running at Lens. Hammer is dropped by Rudy. Now it's a 2-for-1 across the map. Overall, though, a win for the side of Semi-Aquatic Soldiers.
Yeah, this is there's another. I mean, I guess there's slightly more nuance as well to this Leshrac matchup nowadays in the OD, where it's relatively new, the mana allergy that OD gets when he presses ulti. So now you're playing Leshrac, a hero that notoriously like eats through, like 1,000 mana within 10 seconds of a fight. He's playing that into OD Nether Ward. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried in the sense that I was saying I feel like this Leshrac needs to have a good game, and his game is not good. It is not good at all.
Other than the Wisdom Rune take, it has not been good. I mean, he's 6th in net worth again. He's not far from himself again.
I can't fully understand the purpose of maxing Edict, but it is going to cook into Meteor.
Yeah, Meteor TP's away. It doesn't work. It's okay. The Edict has now paid off. And again, I guess the idea here, I guess, is pressure these towers. He's picking the tower right now. He's level 4 Edict, so he can sort of capitalize on the skill build to get this T1 tower very early.
Yeah.
And because he's getting it so early, he can now TP top lane with the 10 minutes he's doing as well.
Yeah. I mean, wow, I was just saying it. I guess Mr. Lens is just the guy. I think I'm still surprised.
Top lane arena buys Andy Bendy. In come the TPs, but they're too late. Andy down. But it will be vengeance time. Journey is the primary target. The direct vengeance will be secured. It's a kill there for Diesel on the Dragon Knight. And of course, they want to run at these supports as well. Pugna will TP. It will not be successful thanks to Creeps giving vision. Patience will not blast, but at that point, he's simply lashing out against the world. He is dead. 2 kills for the dire side.
Mr. Lens's greatest contribution to this game, outside of that tower and the third kill, which was actually kind of big, is getting that Wisdom Rune. I mean, the supports are level 4 and 4, respectively, which is it's a huge deficit. And these are heroes that kind of need their 6s to function. So,
speaking of Lens, he's dead, by the way, bottom lane. Nice, the Creeps. Wyvern ulti has been used. I don't think Meteor dies here. He's got the ulti button. Yeah, he's got that ulti button.
Thunder Blast and might have killed. Might have. Good try though. I mean, they do get Mr. Lens, so yeah. I mean, unfortunate. He is also rushing. He's rushing Bloodstone, which is also. I mean, it's hard to sustain your mana with just straight Bloodstone.
Really, is Sauce not looking at their screen? Okay, there we go. At this point now, Sauce leaps away. I think they're both looking at the mid T1 tower, actually, unironically. He'll imprison, I believe that's Dragon Knights.
I don't blame them, because I was too, to be honest. I was just entranced by this Dragon Knight.
Veg Stun hits the Leshrac. At this point, we're going to see TP in by Mars. He's got the arena ready to go.
Oh.
Imprisonments into arena, hits onto arrow, flies, Lens is dead, DK is dropping with the hammer dropped by Rudy. They'll bring down the Dragon Knight. That's 2 more kills for Royal Star.
They're not respecting this OD, and they're not respecting arena, which is bad. They need to respect both of those things greatly, or else this is gonna happen. And I mean, Andy is really high on net worth. Actually, I was looking at Andy's I was looking at a CS and how the game's been going, and I assumed that he wasn't doing that well, but he is highest net worth, actually, by a good amount. Diesel as well is sitting on pretty good net worth, so the situation is not actually... I thought the Dire were behind more in net worth. I'm a little bit surprised. But I guess that's probably just my mid bias.
That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you look at Dota from a certain lens.
It is a very good OD game, so I still am inclined to believe that OD being this big is a little bit scary if he gets off to a good start. And Jim was also not looking at his screen very much. So
I was
like,
looking top lane. I did not see any of that happening.
Jim just got walked down by OD and then had ulti. But he was like just like right clicking creeps and Rudy just walked up to him.
Ouch. Ouch. This point is 1-for-1 tower-wise. Both teams have lost their safe lane T1. Smoke on 3 from Royal Star. It's Mars, Pugna, and Venge. Running at Mr. Bendy. The Froggy 2 Demon Dog has his clone running in top lane.
Ooh.
Radiant now see him on the... They don't see him on the ward directly.
Raised
And they double warded.
Oh, and they're denying one. I mean, this is smart by Reed, actually, to deny one of them. That way you don't give 250 gold with... And Andy was just barely, I think, off the ward.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually back off. Andy was not intent on leaving this area at all. Like, they could have really easily caught him, actually. So, a slight blunder, actually. A completely missed smoke and minus a ward. Kind of a big deal, especially when you're playing into a hero like Arc Warden that's going to ticking time bomb you.
Yeah. At this point, there's a fight brewing in the Dire side jungle. We see, again, this little high ground moving the battlefield, but neither team is willing to walk into it. Sauce, arrows the OD. OD will attempt to TP. It'll get canceled by nothing.
No.
Wyvern ulti's on cooldown. Split Earth wasn't in range in time. That's a good TP away by Rudy. Mid T1 tower is brought down by Diesel. Journey will arena hitting the Wyvern. Wyvern is low, and Wyvern now is dead. Lens looks to run at Patience. Patience is dropping soft away by Reed. Andy Bendy has arrived. Journey is getting kited, but he's still somewhat tanky. Arrow flies. This time it misses. Rudy looks to fight. He's got the ulti. Lens gets stunned by Venge. Lens runs away. Rudy will imprison the Dragon Knight. Split Earth misses. Hammer, drop. Lens is low, but still not dead. Spear hits from long range, and they'll bring down Diesel. 3 down for semi-aquatic soldiers. Arrow hits from Sauce, but the little effect other than a little bit of tilting in all chats.
Stop it, Sauce.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it, man. Nice deny on the rune by celebrating Salamander. Patience can keep Rudy up. Oh, rogue arrow attempt.
Rare sight this game, missed arrow by Sauce.
Yeah, Sauce has been cooking with these arrows, but well, I don't know why. Like, both these teams have picked Leshrac in this series, and both of them have tried so incredibly hard to force fights with it in the early game, when the Leshrac was weak in both instances. It's very interesting. Like, they both had, I feel like, very similar reads on how to play Leshrac. And I think they were both bad, personally.
How would you personally pilot... Oh, speaking of Leshrac, Leshrac's about to die, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question after he dies, top lane. He'll try to kill Rudy before he dies. I don't think it'll work. It does not work. Swap and imprisonment have been used to prevent that death. Arrow will be well off the mark.
Yeah.
How would you play Leshrac in this particular game, is the question.
I would just have my human stack, and I wouldn't even play around the enemy team. The enemy team is so strong into you in the early game, but you cook them so hard once you have your items, so... yeah. I wouldn't have maxed Edict, even though the Edict looked good when he got the tower and he killed the Slark. It slowed down his farming, and it also made his laning really awkward, so I'm not a big fan. I think Rudy also did a lot of fighting in the first game. I liked his build a little bit more than what Mr. Lens is going for.
Mid T1 is brought down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jim will also get brought down. He Wyvern ulti the Slark, but... Yeah,
oh, they don't have
stacks.
vision.
There's no way he lives here. There's no way he lives here. There's a way he lives.
The goat.
And he warded too! I love this ward.
That's a great ward. The actual goat. Wow.
Okay then. Good play from Jim. Manages to dance his way out of an absolutely certain death, and is alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Lens also, when they almost took that kill on OD earlier from the rogue sauce arrow, I'm pretty sure Mr. Lens could have canceled that OD TP if he like
top lane.
edged.
Oh, Journey's in such a good spot right now. He found Mr. Lens. Diesel stuns Rudy, but Lens has already been cooked. Arrow misses from Sauce. Jim has got no ulti. It's on cooldown from escaping from Meteor. Rudy, he's arcane orbing. He does so much damage. Journey blinks in, rebukes Jim. Jim will attempt the Arctic burn, now Patience heals the Mars. Banishment finds, I believe that's Morana. Morana has one leap but has no health points. So it's a 3-for-0 again. Rudy Seal Star, he's dominating.
Yeah, Rudy is looking really clean these past 2 games. Of course, we can't discount the fact that Froggy 2 Demon Dog is free farming throughout most of this. But Mattior is having a pretty chill game himself. Not quite at the level of OD or of the Arc Warden, but they're pretty good. I mean, yeah, they've been getting caught in really weird places. I don't think that Mr. Lens is really afforded the luxury of walking to the places on the map that he has been. He keeps getting caught by this. I really like Journey's decision to go early blink, rather than the Yules first that we were seeing from Diesel. I think it was better in the first game than it was in the second. So, Rohofireflu is just playing this really clean. I think Rudy in these past 2 games has really showed up and has kind of put a clinic on. You can see the net worth difference from Dire to Radiant is literally just between mids, and they're,
And that gap just grows. It simply just grows. It's funny how you're mentioning how... It's funny how you're saying, oh, Lens cannot play the way he's playing, and then 5 seconds later he dies playing in the river. It was just perfect time for an analysis. And an imperfect time for Lens.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because I think I was saying at the start of this game that it's going to be a hard Leshrac game if he gets behind. So this Leshrac hero just needs an obscene amount of net worth to be useful, and he absolutely does not have that. I mean, he's sitting on Philosopher's Stone Gaia with a Void Stone because he couldn't get to his Bloodstone. So this game is really, really tough for him. It's really just going to be the Andy show, and potentially, for some Blink Dagger Wyvern curses to come out, and that's pretty much what they're playing around. If there's one hater in this world of DK's buying Manta first, like, it's me, I just, like, why, Diesel, like, why don't you just buy a Blink with a Mirana? You're the only stun. You're the only setup for the stuns that need setup. Like, why are you buying a Manta?
I feel like it made a little more sense back when Mage Slayer was super OP, because you could go Mage Slayer into Manta and just have super good,
I still think I was still flaming it, and he's also gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, Jim is backing him up. He'll TP away. It's canceled by Reed multiple ways, and now he's dead.
Yeah. I really don't like, because they just have no playmaking potential, because the only blink that they have is on Jim, and Jim obviously doesn't have a reliable setup for Arrow. So Sauce is like his place in the game is really, really awkward because he can't really consistently land arrows. I mean, he can because he's Sauce, and enemies are just magnets for him. But any mere mortal on Mirana would, not be able to live up to this.
If we're being technical, Jim does have a reliable setup, but it comes on an 85-second cooldown, so I'm not sure if he wants to do that for arrow setup.
Yeah, well, and it's not reliable in that sense. And, they're also playing into swap, so that's the only reason I can really think of, is that Diesel just wants to farm, and he thinks that the arrow setup isn't going to be reliable into, like, Slark. Venge, they have a lot of saves between OD and Venge, so I understand the reasoning a little bit. But I think you have to go for pickoffs, and you have to have some playmaking potential, and with Manta you have none. Manta doesn't particularly help you live in this game, which is really frustrating. Oh, Jim's
going for a crazy play. Oh, 4, man! Winter's Curse! Got him 4! Arrow splits the wickets. Journey is swapped away by Reed. Reed certainly will die. A beautiful play by Jim. And the Tormentor goes to die, or giving a shard to Sauce. Over to Rudy. He's being carried around right now. If they kill Rudy, it's a massive amount of gold to get. They killed him! Dude, the net worth lead is actually just died. It actually just died in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
It was over 7,000. It's now below 3,000.
Jim killed Radio Star.
Wow. Holy, what a fantastic play. I will say, it's interesting when we were talking about the Blink discourse, where it's like a catch-22, where because Diesel doesn't buy a Blink, there isn't reliable setup, but there isn't reliable setup doesn't buy a Blink. It's something Jim just does that.
Yeah. I mean, Jim's just a monster. His Wyvern is very, very good. It's a little bit sad in the way that Wyvern Wyvern is a hero that does actually scale very well, but he's a hero that doesn't get net worth very much. It's really hard to gain net worth on Wyvern unless you have this, you have a shard build, which unfortunately he has not been afforded the luxury of going. So that's a little bit unlucky, but Mr. Lens gets a lot off of that fight. He ended up, I think, killing the Tormentor for a plus 250 gold, obviously getting a lot of comeback gold, so now he's sitting on Akaya and Sanj, which makes his hero feel a lot more impactful. I still don't know if this is the best possible build for him, but I don't mind it. I don't have any qualms with it, which I've pretty historically had qualms in these less rare games, so.
How does Midas work on Arc Warden Clone? Is it just like independent charges as well, like the main one?
Yes.
Or okay.
It just has independent charges. The moment you get the item, I think it has whatever your Midas is, and then it'll go down.
I really should have known that, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's nice and not nice, I guess. But ever since 2 charges, it's made it really easy to, pretty much never miss your Midas. Andy is also sitting on a lot of gold, and he is going for, this Orchid build, and he's going for Gleipnir Orchid. I'm a big fan of this. I think Andy is really cooking with this build. I think the Orchid is really, really solid this game. They are going to get Roche, which is a bit unfortunate, but they can't probably do anything about it. So, they're just going to get a ton of space on the map. Froggy 2 Demon Dog with the Boots of Travel. Yeah. I think the whole Tormentor business really gave them a lot of leverage in this game to actually make things happen. And this shard is kind of nice for Sauce because it means that he can clear waves now, which he just utilized bottom.
I mean, he's just running at the bottom. I think we mentioned it in game number 2, especially in these losing games. It's a team that'll be very happy to just creep cut. A little bit of Rato Nino Dota.
Yeah, it's really nice actually. The ability, Mirana is quite slow at clearing waves as a support until she gets the shard.
Top lane, solo arena from Journey. Diesel will counter stun. He'll Manta,
Nice
allowing
Manta.
him to get away from that spear. Problem is, he only buys some time for the clone to arrive. The hammer is dropped by Rudy. That'll be a dead Dragon Knight.
They're now sitting onto a spike where they have 2 Ags. They have one on Rudy, and they don't quite have it on Madior, but they're going to. It's going to be really difficult timing for Radiant to play into, or I guess Dire to play into. So, they just kind of got to keep doing what they're doing. Sauce is doing a great job of splitting the waves. Andy has a great hero for being annoying and cutting waves, but the only unfortunate thing is that Rudy Sealstar kind of like one-shots his illusions.
This is a game where it's all in on Andy Bendy. You put all your eggs in one basket. Luckily, it's one sturdy as hell basket.
Yeah. I mean, Andy is incredible at Arc Warden. I think he has really good decision-making when it comes to heroes like this, and obviously the mechanics to back it up, so it's a good person to trust, but Arc Warden himself can be a little bit wishy-washy from time to time.
We're at the point now, Royal Star, they're poking their heads around this Dire base. They want to do something, but Dire, I mean, look at DK and Wyvern. They're smoked up right now. They want to go right now. They want to do something.
I want to see Andy buy a BKB. Okay, he queues it up. I mean, he's honestly just so smart. Right as I said it, he literally like puts it in this quick buy. This guy's just like, yeah, he's just absurd. I think his build is really, really good.
Look at Rudy. He's so far forward right now.
He is. He does have. Oh, this is nice by Andy. I mean, he has a Orchid, as long as nobody else gets caught out. Diesel blinks the wrong, or Journey blinks the wrong way. Sauce is just in there.
He's playing with fire, but he has not gotten burnt quite yet.
Sauce is playing this one really clean. I mean, I think that Sauce, I mean, his early laning, I was a little bit annoyed, but I think he played it still pretty solid. And I think he's playing this, like this little bit of ratting, like being in weird places, doing annoying things. Like he's doing it really nicely. And Reed is almost dying to just the illusion.
Yeah, a few more hits will do the job.
He actually
Andy
he's gonna die
really
to
wants it. And there it is.
And he's gonna give it to Andy too. Wow.
Meanwhile, the lens dies, so a more important kill was set up by the arena solo. They're hitting the Lashrak outside the dire base. That is not good at all. I mean, it's a 1-for-1, but these
I
are
mean,
not equal heroes.
that's what you say, but honestly, like I almost take this trade. Maybe that sounds crazy, but the only annoying thing is you're gonna take a lot of tier 3 damage here. But honestly, like getting money onto Andy is almost worth more than
Your Lashrak's
Mr. Love
life.
dying. Yeah, I mean, this is just how Arc Warden is as a hero. It completely warps the entire game around the hero. And Andy Bendy almost does that by himself, just the way that he plays. So, you kind of have a little bit of both going on, and but I remember when Tundra was really good at playing this hero, I believe that Nine was playing it quite frequently. They would very frequently give up things like towers. They would give up kills. They would give up Roshan. Like they would do all these obscene things that teams would never think to do. Off the back of just scaling Arc Warden, and they had a very high win rate with that hero. Of course, I believe that was when they won TI, but yeah, they had this really unique idea about, we'll just play Arc Warden, and it's going to free scale into the game, and it's going to be incredibly strong, regardless of how much we give up. And they would just do that all the time, and it was successful. And so I think playing Arc Warden, that's kind of the ideology you should go into games with, is that sometimes we're going to be down, sometimes one of our teammates is going to suffer, but we're going to have Arc Warden, and we just have to we just have to believe.
Yeah, we are getting to the stages of the game where Arc Warden, he soul killed the Venge earlier, nearly. He is able to survive Slark 1v1ing his clone at this point, so it's only going to get harder to address the Arc Warden up until the point where Arc Warden literally cannot buy more items.
Yeah, the other thing too is that since Andy is having to do since Andy kind of has this heavy burden on him to carry this game, he does unfortunately have to go a rather defensive build. Lots of stats, going BKB early. Hurricane Bike is what he wants to go for, which means his damage.
Oh, that's a Wyvern ulti on Pugna. Swap away. Radiance Wardlow was killed, so it's a Wyvern ulti for the arena on 2. Finding a real Arc Warden. Hammer is dropped on 3. Andy dead. Sauce dead. 2 buybacks come in. Lens is dropping. He's incredibly low. Journey is hunting. His Rebuke in 1. Meanwhile, at this point, it's an absolute disaster with Lens dying as well. They'll clean up Journey at the very least, but again, you need more than this. You've used everything, and Radiant only was on Mars.
So as much as I was saying, or as much as I've been praising Andy, I am not very... He had money for BKB, but he opted to save for buyback, which I believe was a pretty conscious choice. It does keep him in the game for the current moment, and of course, if he got instantly bursted, it wouldn't have been... BKB wouldn't have changed anything, but I think that you should play on the off chance that having BKB doesn't allow them to jump there, or just lets you play that fight and not die, not have to use buyback. So I feel like he should have bought out. I'm not a big fan of him holding buyback. Of course, I mean, it might be enough to hold for a while, but it does also mean that, even with the relatively slow push that Radiant has, it is definitely possible for Andy to die and for the game to end, which I don't think would have happened even if he died with just BKB. So it's a bit sad to get set back like this, but he's still second in net worth, so it's not the game by any means, but you're not afforded a lot of mistakes when you're this far behind.
Luckily, he does have that BKB now. He cannot save for buyback because it's on cooldown, so he might as well buy the BKB.
Yeah, I mean, now he gets it. He's getting close to level 20, which is a pretty decent talent. He can kind of work towards some higher DPS items, such as Dragonlance and a Bloodthorn. If he wants to go for something like Butterfly or Daedalus, even some crazy Revenant's Brute or something. I mean, he has the options, so I'm interested to see what he goes. I think the Hurricane Pike is totally fine if he wants to go it. Yeah, it's rough. This Roshan is on a short timer relatively, which is not great for Dire. So you just kind of got to hope that either some massive play from Jim or somebody else prevents them from taking Roche when it spawns, or that the game does not end with Roche. And Rudy is looking almost strong enough to end with an Aegis.
Jim is in a very sneaky spot. Has to blink away from that one. We're at the point now where Dire's Tormentor is alive. Both teams are paying it. This could be the position of our fight. And the last fight that was here was very fantastic for Jim. He has ulti once again ready. Radiant. This time we'll be careful. Royal Star do not want to repeat the disaster at the last Tormentor.
I think they're a little scared.
Jim he's hunting. He smells it.
Dragon Knight does have Ags finished, which is not very impactful, in my opinion. I really want to see a blink, but that's okay. I mean, once he hits level 18, it will feel pretty impactful, but he's a little bit off from it for sure. They're searching, trying. There's going to be a roar, but this Roche dies so fast. Oh, this OD hero is so OP at taking Roche. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's probably one like say the 5 or so best heroes in the game for taking Roshan. Best mid laner for sure. So
yeah, I don't understand what like. Can they just make this do like 50% damage to objectives or something? Or I think it should work just because his DPS is so low otherwise. But
oh no, Rudy is here and he's hungry. He smells sauce. Sauce will tempt the leap away. Madior inhibits and Rudy finishes.
Rudy's a monster these past 2 games. He really, I think he was probably not so happy about his Leshrac performance, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna play, heroes I'm and Odie and Puck, of course, among those. So yeah, he's a monster. He's really been hard to deal with these past 2 games. Madior fishing. They did give Aegis to Madior, which I don't fully agree with, but I don't. Yeah, I don't fully agree with it. But honestly, it's really hard to kill Rudy with the Ags. He has Hurricane Pike 3k HP, and he didn't even go any of the tanky taunts. So yeah, I do not envy the position that they are in at the moment.
Yeah, again, I guess Madior does have Wyvern ulti insurance. They're going in on Sauce, leap forward. Wyvern ulti will hit on 3, Venge will die, so it'll end up being a 1-for-1. Assuming Venge does die, and there it is. Lens doing a lot of magical based damage, they're still right-clicking him down on Madior. Spear will be there on Andy's clone, and Lens gets hammered down by Rudy. The real Andy Bendy is running away, but he's just so low, he's just so dead! And he's got no buyback. That might just be game. Dragon Knight goes down, but again, that's just GG. And Royal Star, at the brink of elimination, will head on to the next round, upsetting the semi-aquatic soldiers.
Classic Royal Star. Lose, and then they just turn to the OD. Classic. No, I'm kidding. Well played by them. I mean, Rudy just honestly dominated these 2 games. He played really well on a Mr. Lens, and yeah, he had great heroes. They played around him, and the supporting cast. I think Journey played this Mars really clean with the early blink, patience. His Pugna, it was definitely an unsung hero. So I think they just pulled it together. They after that first game 1, they actually genuinely mentally reset and played a really clean 2 games, which is not something you see very often. So congratulations to them for that.
And they're now they're 1 series away from returning to the money. And that's what they want. They smell the cash. And they want to claim it.
I miss Jim.
It's okay. We'll be talking to Jim very soon after we get off this this cast, I'm sure. Yeah, again, for semi-aquatic soldiers, they were the number 1 team in the group stage, but the bracket stage did not go well for them. Just 2 series losses, and they are sadly eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to keep watching them, so I'm sad to see them gone. But Royal we got a good best of 3 out of it, so I guess you can't be too upset. And they made a really strong run at Semi-Aquatic. I think that they were really only a few key choices in those games from moving on anyway.
Yeah, we're getting some friendly stuff in the post game chat just for the good luck for the next series, which will be pretty soon, I am sure. Thanks for coming on tonight, Rojo, joining me for this 2-1 victory of Royal Star over Semi-Aquatic Soldiers. Do you have any final words, call out, shout, say the people of the lads?
No, I mean, shout out Semi-Aquatic for being cool elks, and shout out Royal Star for putting on a good series. So I hope we can get more of those. And you said it's the finals, the next series that happens, or
No, they're it's gonna be
oh,
losers top 4 for the next series. They're
okay.
still one series away from even making the money. So yeah,
I see, I see, I see.
I forget who they play. Let's see who they play next. So they'll play the winner of wait, that already happened, didn't it? Did it happen? No, it didn't happen. So they're gonna play the winner of Mofilski Mo Magan and Wakanda Made in China, which I don't believe is scheduled yet.
Yeah, I see.
Either way, thank you to Rojo again for coming on. Congratulations to Royal Star on their 2-1 victory. Commiserations to Semi-Aquatic Soldiers on their 1-2 loss. Always fun to see you guys back in the tournament, of course. Thanks to the viewers for tuning on in tonight for this this good old series. I'm of course going to raid Mathematician, who is casting some lads playoffs between Marana's Marauders and Polar Ass. So of course join the raid, support that cast. I'll be in the Twitch chat, I'm sure. Come to Cast Your Games, cast your tournaments. You know where to find me. Same spots as always. Discord, Badger, Pablo, Twitter.com/Badger, Dota 2. Same usual spots. As always, again though, thank you for watching and have a great night.